arena because we'll get one episode every like 6 months.
Hey, we got a new arena, man. Come on, you're gonna really dog on Arena Sasaki like that?
Yeah, I have not played
Yeah.
it.
Fucking helicopter head ass. That's what he is.
I don't even know what an arena is.
Never heard of one. Sasaki was just a
I can
glorified
get you in
raid.
the arena.
Hey.
1v1 me, Todd.
Oh, damn.
Elden Ring, let's go.
It's on. It's
Oh
on.
shit! All right, I'm watching. I'm down. Is this the new content for the year? We're just gonna fight each other,
Yeah, I fight Todd.
just in random things. Oh my days! Yeah, that might work. Hold on, that might be the play. Might need to do some of that.
Oh my god.
We like Treasure Cruise boxing event where you
I'm
fly
down.
people out,
I'm so
but
down.
you can only punch with powers of good, great, and perfect. You can like miss and you get like block slots.
No, it's like you know how Ludwig did the chess boxing, whereas like you do a round of boxing, then a round of chess. You do a round of do a round of boxing, and then it's like you have to clear like a treasure map run or some shit, and then you go to a round of boxing, then like an arena or something like that. You know, you keep going back and forth.
Oh my god.
Some sort of relay thing. Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. I've just had an idea for a treasure cruise event. Okay, hold on.
Oh shit, my man's cooking.
I actually have an idea.
What was he cooking?
What was he cooking? No, I think it'd be cool. Like you could hold like an event where you have like teams of 3 or 4, and then it's like a relay event. So it's like, you know, okay, so you start that you have to clear Arena Sasaki, followed by the point farming event, followed by Arena, I don't know, Muck Vice or whatever it is, followed by this, and it's like you tag the person in as soon as you finish. Could be a nice little competition to have. Something fun for the community. I don't know. Maybe we'll get that working. Who knows? What I do know is another episode. Welcome back, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 83. The new year, new us. It's it's that time of year. New year, new me. We're gonna be recording more GGP. Episode 83. I'm here with the usual suspects, Flame Knight and Todd. Gentlemen, welcome back. It's good. It feels right at home again. We're back in it. Feels like it's been a minute. It has been a minute actually. It's been like over a month now since we've last recorded anything.
Since the award show.
Yep, since the award show. So how's everyone doing? I think it'd be a good idea to start off with the old. How's everyone's holiday period? How's everyone's New Year's? Anything fun happen? How are your Christmas presents? Like have you got any? What New Year's resolutions do you have? Just a little informal catch up. I'll chuck it.
Not all at once.
Yeah, exactly right, gentlemen. Everyone's just getting the rust out. Everyone's forgotten how to podcast. It happens once every every year. We all forget how to podcast because none of us are good at it at the end of the day. So I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna just chuck it to Flame. Flame, how's your New Year's? How's your holiday period? How'd everything go? Give us a little lowdown.
So my holiday was okay. This was the first year I actually didn't get to spend it with my grandma because she ended up getting sick like on Christmas Eve. And you know how everybody is with like COVID and all that shit. So she didn't have it, but just in case she didn't want to come. So that was that. On New Year's, I said I wasn't gonna drink, but I ended up drunk on the couch at 12 o'clock. So that was nice.
Standard.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I've had a pretty okay start to the year. I've been in a big slump though, regarding like just like my activities and whatnot. Like I've been trying to like play some new games, watch some shows and whatnot, but I just can't get into anything. Like I'll start something up and then like I'll get off it in like within like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel that.
So I'm trying to kind of get out of this little funk.
Yep.
I was really excited about the One Piece cards that came out at the end of the year. I ended up not getting them, but now like I started to like look at them on eBay.
Man, FOMO so hard.
I might pick some out, get them in my room. Yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. I mentioned before we started the episode, there's a new Fire Emblem game that came out today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that this weekend, and there's some stuff coming out moving forward, which I'm sure we'll talk about on the off episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
easy as. All right, my question: what is one New Year's resolution you have, Flame? And this goes to the rest of you. I'll ask everyone as well. What is one of your New Year's resolutions or goals for this year?
one of my New Year's resolutions.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
You haven't thought of any.
I do, but I don't want to say it.
Oh no.
Oh,
I don't want to say
dear.
it on here.
Is
So
that bad?
I'll just say, hope we have a good year.
All right, there you go. All right, fair enough.
There you go.
All right, Knight. How about you? How's holiday period? How's everything? How'd everything go?
Holidays were pretty chill. Nothing too special.
Mhm.
It was just kind of standard stuff. Just hung out with my brother who I haven't seen in a little bit, so that was fun.
Mhm.
We just chopped it up a bit, chopped up like buggy.
Hey yo.
But yeah, holidays were just pretty chill.
Yeah,
Nothing too
that's
big
good.
happened. New Year's was pretty good too.
Mhm.
Basically the same thing. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good
That's good.
nowadays. Like,
Good to hear.
yeah.
And what's
And
your one New Year's resolution? Or at least, or what's one of them?
yeah. I'd say like my New Year's I was about to say
My
revolution.
revolution.
Yeah, I'm
We're
gonna
changing
start with
changing the world. Hold on.
But I don't know. I just want to be more active again on like YouTube and stuff. I
Yeah.
wasn't as active last year, and I don't know, like my channel like died a bit, so I don't know. I just
Yeah.
I feel like it would be cool just to do stuff again, like at
Yep.
least bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Just trying to like
100%.
put out something every
100%.
other week. I think that'd be cool.
100%. I agree. I think that's a good idea. All right, Todd. Same questions to you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was Christmas period was pretty good, and New Year's it was. Okay, so Christmas was all right. We always have this thing on Christmas Eve where we hang out at an old family friend's place, and we did that this year, and it was all good. And
Mhm.
Christmas Day we went to grandparents, and we had a really good day, really good lunch, and we had like a Chris Kringle with like the whole family pretty much, with
Nice.
like all the extended family. So everyone
Yeah.
like got one person, and there was like a set limit
That's
about
good.
how
I
much we
like
could
that.
spend per person.
I like
Yeah,
that. That's
because
good.
like we used to just buy gifts for everyone, but it ended up being like super fucking expensive
Yeah.
and just a waste. So
Yeah.
we would just do
100%.
the Chris Kringle thing instead.
Yeah.
And then you write down, like each person writes down like a list of things that they would like to get.
Yes.
And then like the Chris Kringle will, obviously just buy either one or a couple of those things on the list. And
Yeah.
and that ends up working out pretty good. And
100%. Yeah, that's a good idea.
so that was all right. And then New Year's, typically I like to hang out with Dylan and Jacob, and we go somewhere, go to someone's house, or we go to some party. But
Yeah.
both Dylan and Jacob both caught COVID on
That's
Christmas.
so rough. So rough.
So I had to like hang out with my parents, and we went to just a family friend's place New
Nice.
Year's. That was kind of average, but
Yeah.
yeah. So it was a pretty low key kind of a holiday period for me this year compared to
Yeah.
the past few years. But
Mhm.
and, a resolution for me, I mean, I don't have many. I don't really take New Year's resolutions that seriously, but
Yep.
I would like to try and aim for 100K.
100K. I was gonna
YouTube
say,
subs.
let's go.
That's
100K,
the
baby.
goal, and I'm not expecting to hit it, but I mean, hey, better to aim high.
Hey, better to aim high. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Shoot for the moon. Land amongst the stars. That's
Yes,
just,
sir.
yeah. I like it. For me, very
Go
chilled
for it.
out. We did a lot. So New Year's, Christmas Eve at a friend's house. Christmas Day we just hung out at home, and then on the 26th we drove up to Melbourne because one of our friends wanted to go watch the Boxing Day Test match.
Huge.
The cricket. So we weren't there on day one. We were on day two, and it was at about 38 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but
well
it
over
was-
100, I think.
it was a scorcher, and I sweat even when it's like -5 degrees. So I was drenched the whole entire day, but it was really fun. It was a really good atmosphere. Basically, we spent a couple of days in Melbourne until about the 30th or so, which was good. And then we came back, spent New Year's just at a friend's house, just hung out, did all that kind of stuff, which was always fun. And then that was about it, really. I would say one of my resolutions this year, probably like the more interesting one, is I want to do 3 million steps this year is my
Okay.
goal. So that about averages out to about 8.2 thousand a day. I believe I'm currently in a surplus of about 24,000 steps. You know me, excel in that. So
Damn.
I'm ahead right now, which is always good. So you know that's one of my major goals is about 3 million steps this year, which would be really cool just to hit that kind of number because you know I want to just get active and lose some weight. So that's kind of the mantra there. But enough with the dilly dallying, gentlemen. The award show has happened. The GGP award show has happened and concluded. It was our final episode of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We don't really need to talk about it for too much. But I just thought, like, obviously, Knight wasn't there. Unfortunately, some things popped up on his end. But I just thought we'd give a brief moment to just acknowledge its occurrence and just some kind of thoughts and opinions on how the award show went, and you know your thoughts on the final, the winners and stuff, and everything along those regards.
The award show was a lot of fun.
This year was fun. I really enjoyed it this year. I think
And shout out to you and Rioan for putting it all together, and also Tony and all the guys in the back.
all the boys. You know, everyone's. You know, I couldn't be happy with you know the amount of support that I got in terms of how people supported us and helped out with getting everything sorted. So, end of it all. Legend of the Year went to Luffy and the Straw Hats. I think that's extremely well deserved. In
Yeah,
that
it's not
regard.
really much of a surprise.
You know, and worst legend of the year went to Kuma, which is always funny. It's funny because the top 4 worst legends were all PvP legends, which
Goes to
is
show.
it goes to show, eh? It just goes to show, you know.
And it's kind of funny too because like even in Rumble, not a lot of the Rumble unit like legends are actually that
good.
Like, good.
They're all bad.
What are they fucking doing, man?
I don't like. I've never understood the mantra of being like, oh, we're gonna release Rumble Legends, but then they're not gonna have super types or classes or anything of the sort. It doesn't make it like I don't understand why you do that. It just doesn't make much sense to me as that to be your decision process. But I mean, it is what it is. There.
At least some of the Rumble rare recruits.
Balancing.
Some of the Rumble rare recruits actually came through though.
Exactly, like totally right. Moment of the year was 8th Annie. That's pretty cool. You got Best Legend Artwork and Ink Effect were both Roger and Whitebeard, so they did a nice little clean sweep there. Best Super Evo was 6+ Kid, Dex Kid, and I believe, what was it? The worst Super Evo was 6+ Uta, which is funny. So
I kind of disagree with that in all honesty. I think like 6+ Uta obviously is not as good as the normal Uta, but
her
I
PvP is cracked. She's so cracked in PvP, which I don't think people thought about that part. So
yeah, exactly.
You also had, you had 6+ Brook after her, which I'd probably attest to.
Yeah,
more.
Brook is probably the worst one, and then some of the Super Evos from like the free to play Kizuna units, right? Were there?
Yeah,
like Orochi.
Orochi's
like
third.
The worst one.
He's just terrible. And then for some reason, 4th place was 6+ Super Type Sabo, so the strength one that turned into Sai.
Oh yeah, he's kind of mid.
Yeah. So I mean, my highlight is probably Robin winning back-to-back best rare recruit from last year, 2021 and 2022.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's go.
she's the best rare recruit in the game once again. But no, I really enjoyed it. I just thought, like, you know, I don't want to harp on this too long, but definitely something that I will continue to pursue, and I know Rioan's going to continue to support. We already have some ideas of how to improve it, because I know that there was naturally a lot of good constructive feedback in terms of the award show itself and how it was handled and how it was run. You know, so we have some good ideas we kind of want to implement going forward. I saw GameWith did their version as well. But what they did was they do like an MVP award over every unit.
Oh, like MVP that are just released in the year.
Yeah. It's a completely MVP, and I believe the unit that won on JP was Ace Yamato.
Yeah, the Japanese players love Ace Yamato.
So
yeah,
I don't have the link on hand because like I think you can just like
I mean, to be honest, even if you did that category, I mean, we kind of did with the, like all legends, I suppose, which is not the same, I suppose. But even if you did do it, like Luffy crew would probably win it for us. People love
without a doubt. Like for them, they literally have every unit. Like I think every paid unit is like every Sugo unit, including rare recruits and all that kind of stuff were available to be voted for. So
Okay.
Ace Yamato winning that one was, I think, like V2 Odin was up there. No, wait, no, it wasn't V2 Odin. There was like some weird, like it was very interesting, like the way that it was handled though. Like it was a very interesting kind of winners and such. I'll see if I can find yeah, here we go. I'm just gone my history. Don't look at anything else in there. First place was, oh yeah, here you go. So do you want to try to guess the top 10? Like these are all legends, so keep that in mind. The top 10 legends that GameWith voted for, that were voted on by GameWith.
Is it only the release during the year or all legends?
Released during the year.
Okay. Well, Luffy Crew and Roger Whitebeard probably.
Yep, they're on there. So Luffy Crew's third, Roger Whitebeard's fourth.
V2
Ace Yamato's first. V2 Odin's fifth.
Kaido. Strength Kaido.
Strength Kaido's seventh.
Who's second? Is it Cat
TND
Viper or
Luffy?
Goldstorm?
Oh. Cat Viper, Dobstorm, both aren't on there. TND Luffy is ninth.
Oh my god.
Nice.
So you're missing second, sixth, eighth, and 10th.
What? Oh, Hiyori?
No.
What?
Ulti?
Ulti, no.
Frankie Tanky?
Okay.
No.
Sanji Zoro?
No.
Dude, what?
Alright,
You're
good.
forgetting like a few key legends. Like
Oh,
absolute.
Hina?
No.
Okay.
Izu Kiku?
No. Think
Okay.
Super Sugo. Think Super Sugo.
Oh, Uta.
Yeah, Uta's second.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going on that path.
Oh, and then Shanks.
Shanks is eighth. So you're still missing sixth and 10th.
Is Film Red
Shanks
Snake Man on there?
Backman?
Shanks Backman, no. Film Red Snake Man, no. All right.
Yeah, surprising.
Sixth is Zoro, the deck Zoro.
Oh my god.
And
dude.
10th is Waifus. So
No.
it goes Ace Yamato, Uta, Straw Hats, Roger Whitebeard, Odin, Zoro, Kaido, Shanks, Luffy, Super Tandem Luffy, and Waifus.
A bit of a hot take from me. I think that Dex 8.5 Zoro is like kind of mid. I'm not that big of a fan of him.
Kind of agree and disagree. I think,
Animations and like his aesthetics,
class,
look amazing.
They're actually the best in the game. But
I wish his abilities were a little bit better.
yes, I agree. Odin being up there is insane to me though. Like I get
Psy
it.
Odin, right?
Yeah, Psy Odin. Like I get it, but I also like don't get it. Like
Nah, that's a weird one to be honest. Like
Because he has to boil.
they do
that
be
man's
boiling
getting
though.
boiled. Like the thing is if you're running a free spirit captain, you're not using him. If
Why are you
running
running
a
him?
slasher captain,
Exactly.
you're
not using him either. Maybe PvP. Like he's just that good in PvP.
I mean, yeah, he is nuts in PvP. That is true.
So I guess that's it there.
But that's one thing I want in 2023. I want them to make good Rumble units more consistently.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
so many times we'll get like one OP unit, and then we go like 3 months with like all these releases and all these terrible ass units.
Yeah,
so I
I
want
agree.
more consistency.
I agree. I think, yeah, it's just so uncommon to have consistently good units, and obviously, not that like you're meant to, I suppose, but it's exactly what you said. When that one really good unit comes out, the meta just evolves around that one unit, and it stays like that for a long period of time.
They don't have to continuously release like OP characters. Just make them actually usable. Like
exactly.
Come on, man.
Like,
they
let
don't
me
even
like
have to be
use stuff.
good. Just
that's all you
usable.
need to do. So, all right, that's it. I think award show sorted. Look forward to 2023's award show. From one set of thoughts to another, thoughts on Grand Party now that we've actually played it, and I believe in our last like podcast episode of the year, aside from the award show, we were talking about Grand Party in terms of without having played it. Now that we've played it, what are your just brief initial thoughts? Or not even initial at this point, but what are your brief thoughts on Grand Party as a mode, as a concept, and etc.?
Man, Grand Party. I think that the fact that they hide teams is the worst part.
Worst part. Straight up the worst part. It's not fun.
The worst component. And the fact that they hide the gems, like in most of the heavy gem rewards in the final day, when like that's I don't like that at all. I can understand the title and the perfect victory
That's
title.
fine. Do that.
I understand that, but most of the gems being locked behind that many wins is a bit ridiculous in my eyes, because the casual player is essentially never going to reach that, which I think it would be better if they were able to do that. But the man, what they really need to do is make more OP grand party skills.
I was gonna say,
At the moment, it's Roger or
There's
Uta
one.
or Bust, basically.
there's Uta, Roger, that's it. There's no one
Roger
else.
Whitebeard, I guess, is actually not bad.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe Dex Luffy's kind of like that echelon just below it.
Yes,
But yeah,
I'd agree.
like there's only like a very small pocket of characters that are actually good, and then there's a huge variety of them that they've made that are just garbage.
Yep. And
either the skill doesn't boost anyone good, or the actual GP burst ability is very hard to charge or doesn't do a lot. And you got Roger that like does everything.
I was a bit upset. Like, obviously, we'll talk about 6+ sugar a little later. I was a bit upset that they just didn't introduce a grand party skill or something like that with her, at least. Like, I feel like with 6+s now that grand party's out, that don't have a GP leader skill and such, just add it on or release it with the unit that as well, because then there's at least sugar can be used in a larger variety. But my issue with grand party, aside from everything you've said, is the mode is just broken in itself. The fact that you can manipulate the level of your opponent based upon what you have removes, in my opinion, a lot of the strategy and skill of the actual mode itself. Like, I can't really talk on it too well because I don't understand it fully, and I'm not confident in saying it, but like my brief guide that we were able to acquire of Game Freak, so obviously shout out to Game Freak, was like match 1 because match 1, 2, and 3 you can just lose as many times as you want, and you're not going to be affected by it. So you want to lower the total CP as much as possible. So that means using a 3-man, like using a crew that has like 2-2-1, which means 2 units, 1 unit. Get the CP as low as possible. Then you want to expand that to like 5-2-1 or 4-2-1. Then you want to expand that to like 5-2-1 or 5-5-5 or whatever it is. And then in the final match, you go all out. Then you rinse, repeat. And the fact that the mode, I don't understand how they decided that in the strategy meeting for this game mode to base the opponent. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but to base the opponent based on the CP and have it work like
skill-based matchmaking.
Essentially, right? Like, I feel like it should be based upon the wins and not the... I mean, even that could be broken into as well, right? I mean, it goes to show that the Treasure Cruise players will always find a way around everything, right? There's always a possibility. But I think whilst I'm going to abuse the mechanic because I want to get as many gems as I possibly can, that's probably my biggest dislike of the mode, aside from the fact that the difficulty curve goes way too high, way too fast.
Yeah.
And obviously the gems. I believe it's win 15 is 20 gems and win 14 is 10 out of a total of 50.
Yeah.
So you lose out on 30 gems if you don't get at minimum 14 wins. So
I wonder if they're ever going to go about changing the way that you actually encounter your opponents. Maybe that they've realized, like, oh wait, people can just like manipulate their team comps so that they can always find opponents that are quote unquote beatable.
Yeah.
So, but then again, the way they have it structured, I don't know what even is the best.
I was gonna say, I don't know how you do it.
Unless if they make it in such a way where it's like literally 3 random teams, and then they don't hide teams anymore, but then they just like give you 3 random teams or something. I don't really know how they can do it, but
I think
it's weird.
The only positives from the actual like difficulty scaling is that, like, whilst it might be a weird thing to say it's a positive, it's like if you lose, like, you're done. That's fair, I think. Reducing the amount of refreshes, I think, is fair as well. But maybe, like, I don't mind hiding a team at most. Hiding more than one is way too much. And I know people will say, oh, you can tell the size of the team depending on the CP, or you can tell what teams they might have depending on the leader, and that's great, but I think hiding any more than one team is way too excessive, and it's artificial difficulty that you're gating a lot of gems and a lot of good rewards behind this artificial difficulty that you can't surpass in any sense. You just have to, good luck essentially is the most part of that, and I think that isn't fair on a lot of players there.
Like there's definitely a component to it that is RNG for sure. Like, of course, you can manipulate your opponents in seeing and locating certain teams and stuff. But there definitely is still an RNG component to it. Even if you're fully blinded, you don't know what you're really walking into, you can still like get absolutely screwed over. Like, there's been times where, a leader who doesn't particularly boost a certain color, still that random color is still going to be the team that you go up against, and that can kind of screw you up. So I don't know. I feel like there just has to be a little bit of a change in the way that the game mode is kind of implemented. But the rewards are good if you can reach the max rewards, though. It is really, really nice.
I think it's I when I lost the first one, I got 14 out of 15. I just accept that I will rarely ever get 15 unless I sweat and be very do the whole minimum, lower your CP and blah blah blah. And I think it's a bit upsetting, but I mean, I don't care personally. But I think for a lot of people, again, like you said, a lot of the early to mid game players, 50 gems is for anyone, 50 gems is a lot of gems.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're missing out on a lot of them, depending on your RNG on day 5, bit rough. But on the contrary, good content. 5 free videos, 5 free videos a month. So we take those. So why not? But I mean, all in all, I don't know. Grand Party's fine. It's just another thing to do every month. It's just added to the content cycle. It is what it is, right? So
pretty much.
I think it's good because it at least adds a little bit more variety, which I think is important in Treasure Cruise now. It's something different to do, and it's fine. It's a fine game mode. It's a little you could complain about it forever, but I think it's perfectly okay. Now, the next array of legends I can't be bothered reading because they are more or less irrelevant. No, I'm kidding. But I know that. So we're just catching up on a lot of the things that did come out, and I think it's important to just be brief about them and such.
Yeah, we don't need to go through every little itty bitty detail.
I think the ones we'll go through is obviously the New Year stuff, and maybe 6 Plus Ultra as well. But we have the release of Pirate Rumble Page 1, very negligible kind of legend. So
I want to hear more about that guy.
You want to hear more about that? He's ass. A lot more. He's ass.
Page 1 has an interesting support at least. He attaches to some of the Toby Ropo, I think. What is it?
Adds 8% of base stats to character, and if they land a perfect, reduces enemy defense up by 1 turn. Jack, Kaido, King, Queen, Sasaki, Ulti, Black Maria, Who's Who.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. That's not
pretty good.
Bad.
Otherwise, he's
in Rumble,
ass.
Even in Rumble, he's not even that good. Yeah, he's just not good. So yeah, bit of an L on Page 1. But at least I don't know if it's on the episode plan. I didn't actually have a look at it. King, Rumble King, which came out a month later.
Yeah. I didn't.
He's just a Rumble Red Recruit, and he's infinitely better than this Page 1.
I didn't put it specifically, but yeah, Rumble King is just way better than this.
He's cracked.
He can hold that.
I wish I had him.
Hey man, time to start sending some multis on Pirate Rumble. That's where all my legends are missing now. I think I'm missing like 6 Pirate Rumble legends, but everything else is fine. So it's maybe start sending a few here and there.
Yeah.
I guess next. I mean, that's it. Cool. This we can talk about because TM Jinbe. All right, gentlemen, let's chat. TM Jinbe came out. Pretty lackluster legend to say the least.
He's got an interesting mechanic though in his captain.
Applies damage nullification to the crew at the start of the quest until is attacked once.
Yeah, perma damage nullification. It's kind of cool, but
which is a very interesting way to approach it, So
and if you run double Jinbe, it actually does tank 2 hits, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Did anyone test it if it's 2 enemies attacking you, or if it's over 2 turns? If that makes sense.
So it's a turn. So
okay,
one damage shield is removed, even if multiple enemies attack you during that turn. It's lasts for 1 turn. Yeah, it's really cool. I just
don't know where you really I mean, I guess maybe if there's a revive boss, that when they die they deal damage and then they come back, so you don't need to bring a unit that does damage reduction, but then again, there's pretty easy ways. Like there's a lot of supports to get around that kind of stuff too. So,
and the other thing as well is that if you're trying to stall for cooldown, if you need to stall for cooldown,
literally
then
can't.
You can't take a hit.
You can't take a hit. Sorry, yeah. So like, it's whatever. But
I will say that the multiplier though, 5.4 on a
5.4
TM
is
Legend,
fucked.
like Jesus, dude.
And 5x otherwise, like flat 5 or 5.4 with HP full, which is just uncanny,
1.4
right?
HP boost, 10% damage reduction. Like he's a very good captain.
He completely removes percent damage reduction, deals damage, chain boundary, attack boost.
Yeah, that's one thing about his special that I didn't like is that you get the chain lock boundary first, and then if you have a chain boundary or a chain lock, then you get the attack boost.
I think it should be the other way around.
Yeah, I agree. I would have much preferred if it was the other way around.
This was one I complained about a lot because the TM for Jinbe was fucking cringe if you didn't have everything, which naturally that's what TM is these days. But I was a bit annoyed that why would they not have made his chain boundary 3 turns as opposed to 1? I just think, especially in the treasure map, it would have helped so much because do you need to bring 2 different chain lockers if you didn't? I don't know. It was like you needed to have 2 different chain lockers for 2 different stages, but it would have just been solved if Jinbe could just go for 3 turns. So I thought, they should have done it for 3 turns as opposed to 1. It would have been so. Imagine if the attack boost came first, and if you have the attack boost, imagine if it just did both. Let him do both. Let him do a 3-turn chain boundary and a 2.5x attack boost. Like he'd be so much more valuable.
Well, another thing that's kind of interesting that was brought to my attention was we have TM Legend Crocodile, which does an attack boost and a chain boundary on launch, whereas this Jinbe, he does one or the other. Whereas TM Legend Croc does both.
Wano Law does orb boost and chain boundary.
True.
Oh, good point.
So why don't they just give Jinbe to do both in the same special? But no.
I guess I think the reason why is because not that they specifically they kind of do incentivize you to run 2, purely based upon how in the titling of his captain ability it says if you have a second Jinbe, like you can stack the damage nullification. So I guess the assumption is that you're running 2 of them, but I don't know. It's kind of weird, I suppose. But
pretty cool super type special as well, super class special.
Yeah, 3 turns of threshold, heal, matching slots, and damage reduction, which is just super.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, That's a lot for a super type. So,
and he's like not bad in Rumble as well with the whole fighter powerhouse meta.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's actually pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I think he's pretty solid.
I think the important thing to talk about is what happened during this treasure map. I think we need to talk about it. So, I believe what it was colloquialized was the grand maintenance. So, for those that weren't aware, and I'll be quite brief, essentially what occurred was during and Todd, you can jump in at any time if I miss something. Essentially what occurred was during the treasure map, a lot of things just started breaking. You couldn't get into TM runs. People were feeding copies of units and they weren't working. People even did multis and weren't receiving the units that they pulled for. People were doing ticket pulls and not receiving the units. And eventually the whole entire game went down. Now, we have never, and I don't think any gacha game has ever had this level of severity before. But what we've realized is that the game, and I'm just going to read it verbatim I believe this is the second letter they posted, and it says, "This is the following summary for the current situation. The main cause of the recent error was due to the amount of data records of each user had exceeded the limit of the original game's design, which necessitated for a fundamental fix with how the data is handled. As a response to this error, we have transferred the exceeded data to a temporary space to allow users to resume their gameplay. However, this was only a temporary remedy and will still need to conduct a major fix at a later date to prevent any further instances of a similar error to occur. We are currently planning to facilitate this fix over multiple maintenance sessions. Once the maintenance plan has been confirmed, we'll be announcing the maintenance schedule in-game." And then it said additionally, because there were a lot of other bits of content that were meant to happen after TM, which was, I believe, the Kizuna Kizuna Boa's release. So a lot of things got pushed back. How fucking crazy is it that, like, I believe it was Goresh who quote tweeted this, and what he brought up was, I believe he mentioned, and he was like, this is a necessary evil because it's actually a positive in disguise. And those that are bashing on this as like being like a company problem, which I'm still pretty upset with how they handle their data. It's actually a positive thing in a sense, because they didn't anticipate Treasure Cruise to last as long as it did, and they exceeded any of their expectations with Treasure Cruise. So it's how you'd realize like a necessary evil for most things.
Yeah, well, I think it's it is a good thing, right? Because it does show that like they didn't really plan for the game to last as long as it has. I think that's kind of like what I'm getting.
Yeah,
and that is a good thing, but I think it's just hilarious that this thing even happened.
Oh, exactly. It's funny. It's not like severe. It's funny because,
and I wonder, because I do think that like if this thing could happen to any game, and I think that the fact that this has happened now, I think a lot of these other developers are going to start realizing, oh wait, are we going to have the same issue? You know?
Yeah. So to get technical, what I'm upset about is, how do you not, like, any company that holds a lot of data has like mechanisms in place to ensure that you don't have this situation occur. It's kind of just what it is. And I personally think that you need to have like remedies in place and things in hand to ensure this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Obviously, what we realize is that Bandai is the producer of Treasure Cruise.
Yep.
But it's developed by a company called Dreecom, which I did a lot of research in this company. And it's actually on them, Dreecom, because clearly they're the ones that have handled all the servers and all the data, and they handle all the programming and handle all the design stuff. So if you think of the pipeline, I'm just going to chuck Yannicka in because, you know, everyone thinks that Yannicka can solve the world, which she does a lot of the time. Everyone yells at Yannicka. Yannicka would then push that to the development, the production team. Production team would then push that to the development team, which is two separate entities. Bandai does not develop Treasure Cruise. It's developed by a subsidiary or a different company. Dreecom would handle the development stuff, push that back to the production team. The production team would then push that back to Yannicka to do what she needs to do. It's really upsetting that there's no mechanism in place to even foresee this, but I don't understand, because in my opinion, the reason why they exceeded all their data levels and stuff is because of all the reroll accounts. That's my opinion, the reason why they've gone above and beyond that. Because I don't understand why they don't just say, if you haven't logged in after X date, we're just gonna fucking delete them all. Delete a bunch of accounts.
They had done that. I
was gonna say they've done that before, haven't they?
Yeah, they definitely have done that before.
So like, I guess maybe the data starts growing because obviously there's more characters in the game, so there's more things to keep track of, and then there's been more events and more items and that kind of stuff. But I would personally say that and I'd be honest, if an account hasn't been logged in for 365 days, it just gets deleted off the record completely.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think that should be a thing for sure.
Because it then prevents this ever happening.
Like, it just, yeah, I wonder, because like if it is based on like amount of accounts that are in the game, then, you know, a lot of these other gachas should also have this issue, unless if they've foreseen it and have been able to amend the issue before it has arisen.
Yeah,
maybe. And I also have a feeling that potentially the Korean merger may have had another reason for this happening.
Yep, you are. I didn't even think of that, but you're 100%
what if they just
right.
What if they should have copied
pasted all the data,
all the accounts, and then that's why there's so much.
You know what? You're not wrong, but that's the thing, right? Because I didn't even think about the Korean merger, but they would have just been like, all right, we're going to chuck everything on the global server now. Here you go. Bang. Yeah. Everything's on one server. And I reckon the global server's like, well, now we're just basically doubled in size without realizing that. And I think that that's actually a massive component of it too. So it's, yeah, I think I agree with you, Todd. Like, it's just funny. It's so, like, it's such a funny situation to occur, but it's also a positive thing as well. knowing that Treasure Cruise clearly wasn't anticipated to live on for 8 years, and it has, which is kind of a really positive thing. And I think people need to look at it in that sense, as opposed to being like, oh, well, the game is shit, blah blah blah. I think it is a positive. It is a necessary evil. Is kind of the best way to mask it all.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's cool. I think it's very interesting. It's just funny. It's so like when this happened, everyone was like, I was just funny because I remember like everyone was streaming Treasure Map, and then Treasure Map just died. So everyone just started playing like poker or chess, and everyone's like, oh, it'll be back up in like an hour or two, and it just never came back up. It was just
how long was it down for? It was like
3 or 4. I thought it was like 3 or 4 days, maybe or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was around 3 days, I think. Yeah, it was really crazy.
That was like that was insane, and it was funny because it was very much of a nice little respite for a lot of Treasure Cruise players too. But
I mean,
they handled
a lot of people
handled it well.
Yeah, we just thought that they were gonna like straight up just cancel Treasure Map, but they decided to keep it going, which was the more surprising thing.
Yeah, I agree. It was a very interesting decision in the long run, which is fair enough, I suppose, because you have things in place you don't want to do. You don't want to cancel. But I think the way that they handled the game coming back up was fine. Obviously, people would have wanted Treasure Map to be cancelled, but I mean, it is what it is. And they pushed everything back, so everything was fair. Boa came out a little later, which was good for the overall Legends, like days per legend average, which is always great. I think everything was handled fine.
That's true, actually. Like December was they had one they had Big Mom, then they had Page 1, Jinbe, Boa. So there was actually a lot that happened in December. But then they've had the New Year's to go first, which is like 3 legends, and there's been no legend release since then.
Yep.
Which is actually really good.
I believe I already calced it earlier on. I was like, so I start from where is it? I start like the number starts from whatever came out before Kaido Yamato. So like it's like 6-day difference between that and Kaido Yamato's release. I think it might have been Boa actually that came out.
Yeah, it was
6 days. So it's like Boa to Kaido Yamato was 6 days, and then you start from that point there. And I think I calculated like if a single legend releases the end of January, we'll start this year at like a 9.5 days per legend. So it's not a bad start.
That's not going to last long.
Things. Oh, absolutely not. I can't wait for there to be 4 legends, and then everything else that comes out. But Grand Maintenance, interesting. So I guess like we just have to hold on to our seats for a little bit and see what they decide to do.
Yeah.
And how long those fixes will take, because I think it's going to be a lot of like data migration, and that stuff can take a long time depending on how you handle it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the game went down for like 6 to 12 hours over like 3 or 4 days. Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to structure, because they definitely still need to make the normal events occur. So maybe they're going to be like maybe once a week they'll do it or something like that. I don't know.
Like that. And they'd probably just migrate data like in chunks or in blocks or whatever, just so things can keep going smoothly. Would be my guess. But
the thing is, as well, is like they've taken out data temporarily. So are they still fetching that data just in another location still?
I think it's just like it's like a separate server. It would be, and then that server would just read into like the main stuff. But it's I guess like the way that you could kind of think of it is like, you have like your main hard drive, and then you have your Steam games on a separate hard drive, for example. Yeah. But you can still read everything in the same computer. I think that's kind of how that, at least that's my assumption, how it would have been fixed. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle it and how everything goes. But I mean, I'm positive about it. Like I think it's a really interesting problem to have. It's a good problem to have if you want to label it like that. It's a pretty good problem to have, that your game is going well for so long that you run out of storage. Just download more RAM, dude. It's not hard, clearly. Moving on. Kizuna Boa came out. She's pretty cool. Todd, your waifu's out. How do you feel about Boa?
She is really cool. I like the fact that we're getting more shooter support. Love to see it. And she's got like just a generically good set of skills, like just good attack multiplier. She has an HP boost, more matching slots, end of turn healing, 2000 end of turn heal, so a double Boa and auto heal, it's 5000 heal per turn. If you use Liberal Hind, it's 6000. It's kind of crazy. And then like a really cool special too, that like a permanent 2.5 attack boost to strength
That's
shooter free spirit
crazy.
until you take 3,000 damage. So there's lots of ways that you can actually remove that though,
Yeah.
like Despair, which reduces your HP because she's an HP boosting captain.
Oh, yeah.
That removes it. I wish it was
Yep.
damage reduction instead of an HP booster. Would
Yeah.
have worked
I didn't
a
even
lot
think.
better.
I didn't even think of that. Oh, that sucks.
But then again, you can still hybrid up with like Roger, for example. So that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. And then she has like the mirror effect, but then can
Yep.
also petrify on top of mirror, which is new. So that's cool.
What is petrify? I still don't know like what's the difference between the mirror and petrify.
So you have to apply the mirror effect first. So let's say
Okay.
you inflict love, and they got like a 8 combo hit, and then they break out of love.
Yep.
What petrify does is it locks their mellow state. So if they got an 8 hit combo, you lock it. So no matter how many hits you do, it's not going to go down.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. That's
and
pretty
that
cool.
lasts for a certain amount of turns and stuff. So it's interesting. It's kind of cool. And she got a color affinity type special as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no conditional for that, right?
No. Not yet.
And cancels attack reducing slot effects for 3 turns in the special. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of unique. And she's kind of good in Rumble too. I'm actually using her in my main strength team at the moment. She's been kind of impressive.
1.5 5 times, 30% confusion chance, 10 seconds if Marigold's...
Because the really cool thing about this unit is you can hybrid up with Sanderzonia and stuff. So I'm using a team with like Toki and Sanderzonia, and both Toki and Rumble Sanderzonia have CT reduction specials. So using like that with Odin, Kid, and this Boa,
pinging specials off consistently.
You just launch so many specials so quickly. It's really good.
5 defense, HP, first 3 seconds, 5 speed. Damn.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like strength don't have a lot of defensive Rumble ability, so this is a huge addition. Yeah,
massive. That's really good. No, she's good. Very, very good. And then from that as well, we got 6+ V1 Chopper, I believe, was from that.
Oh yeah, forgot about Chopper.
From that Sugo Fest as well. His kit just 4.75 to shoot a cerebral, and then 4.25 otherwise. More HP, insults beneficial, still doubles candy. I think he level limit break and limit break expansion was 5x, 4.25 rainbow, and then 10% damage reduction, and then he made int recovery and tandem beneficial, and he allows overheal, which I think is really interesting.
That's a nice addition.
And level limit break ability is cooldown, 6 turns of despair bind. With his special does so much. 6 turns of despair bind. He does what is it? 5 turns of, I'm just gonna read it all because it's funny. Paralysis burn, special bind, attack down, recovery bind, blindness, increased damage taken, effects that convert healing slots and regular healing into damage by 5 turns. Removes poison completely and he heals at the end of the turn for 5 turns as well. So he does all that. He's such a sick unit because he just does so much. I really like that about him.
Like base Chopper, even before the 6+ was still used quite often, and like this just gives him a little bit better abilities. Like,
and it's good because for those that didn't pull V2 Chopper, it's nice to have him. And he boosts Rainbow as well, but he also boosts the Shooter and Cerebral by a little bit extra, so that's always really nice to have as well. So either or, both Choppers are still fantastic in their own regards. I would probably lean more towards V1 Chopper's special, I think, than V2. I think V2 is more damage orientated, but V1 having all the debuff removal is really sick.
Yeah, this character will see more play than Film Red Chopper for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. So
another good thing about this Chopper, like initially when I first read it, I thought this character was going to be really bad in Rumble, but it's more of like he's like a supplemental character that you can have alongside other units that makes them better. Because his Rumble ability is so cracked: 7 HP, 7 defense, 4 attack.
That's a lot.
The HP buff is for everyone, but the defense and attack is for shooters. So shooters get a pretty nice buff with this Chopper.
Yeah, and there was like that shooter team that was going around as well that everyone was using, but then I realized that the slasher team fucking obliterates it, so I was like, hold that.
Classic.
So like the Stump speed slasher team. Oh, by the way, fuck Stump. You know, as we should have said earlier on in the episode. They use same goons, man. Nothing changes. But yeah, like he's cool. I really enjoy the kit overall. It's just another great unit regardless. All right, now we're getting into a bit of the meat and taters. Do we want to leave the New Year stuff to the end?
Here.
or just want to keep going as we are?
Nah, let's just do it.
Yep, alright, 6 plus
Yeah.
Uta. Finally, the new 6 plus Uta. This Uta should have been the 6 plus that came out. I don't
The true
understand
6+.
why they... Like, by the way, the way that you evolve the unit is hilarious, in my opinion. You have to, like,
Yes.
you get the base Uta, you have to 6 plus base Uta into the cringe mode, and then you have to 6 plus the cringe mode into the cool mode. Like, it's like...
Cringe mode's cool now.
Cringe mode's the cool
That's
mode
awesome.
now? Yeah, I respect
It's in
it.
a circle. You have to go round the roundabout all the time to get to the one you want.
Her kit is like it's cerebral, quick cerebral shooter focused, so it's pretty cool. She does the progressive turn thing as per normal, so that's attack and orbs to cerebral and shooters now, and kind of all the same mechanics. And her super class adds 0.25. She's super class cerebral, is it? Yeah. So it's interesting, and I don't know about her Rumble Kit. Is her Rumble Kit any different?
Her Rumble Kit is like utility focused now. It's not damage focused like the previous two forms.
Ah, okay.
She's
so
like super supportive for quick teams.
100% chance of haste, attack up, speed up, defense up. So that's all allies and 10% CT reduction. And then her ability is attack up, HP up, crit up for the first 30 seconds to quick. And then other allies get attack up and defense up as well. So Jesus Christ, she does a lot.
Yeah, very utility focused.
She reduces paralysis and special reverse in her captain by 10 turns as well, which is really good.
Yep.
I would really love to know what their thought process was with this Uta and how they decided to release the top musica instead of this one as the 6 plus.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense at all, to be honest.
It would have made sense to release top musica as like a free to play unit, right? Maybe obviously not with the same abilities, but as like a farmable arena or raid or whatever it is, because it can be considered a bespoke separate unit, but it just doesn't make any sense at all to me that you would release top musica and then the true 6 plus would actually be this one, because this is a 6 plus. It's a kind of like a side grade, more or less, but it's a good side grade because different color and then different classes and different Pirate Rumble kit and such. So I don't know what I would love to know what their decision making process was to release these 6 plus Ujas the way they were.
Yeah,
it's still a good unit. It's very odd, incredibly odd.
But yeah, this is literally like a straight like. This is the true 6 plus of what Uta was meant to be, because like the base Uta does what she does, and this version of Uta works and synergizes perfectly with the redhead pirates like Super Sugo Shanks.
And that's just what it should have been, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why. Like, oh yeah, by the way, here's some random ass 6 plus that's just doesn't work with anyone and kind of just exists by themselves. I don't know. It was a very weird choice to go about in that regard.
Like they literally made this character work so well with Shanks and the crew and the rest of the other film red characters with the special. When you use like 2 Utas in the same turn, you get like additional buffs. So like with her effect now, she gives you a full board of tandem slots, which obviously Shanks or Beckman can abuse, locks them, and then also gives you a 1.2 chain multiplier growth, whereas the base version of Uta was a chain addition, which Shanks already does. So now with this evolution, you have chain multiplier with this Uta, and then you got chain addition with the existing film red Shanks. So yeah, they knew what they were doing. It almost feels like they were supposed to release this character, but they kind of never did.
Yeah, it was exactly right. So I mean, it didn't even take them that long to design it. I guess the art's the toughest part, I suppose, for the most part. Really,
art looks good.
Art looks incredible, and her animation's sick. Her like sprite is incredible too. And then we probably should mention that the 6 plus Uta herself, like the top musica, got a art rework, and basically they just chucked Uta in front of the top musica.
They literally just put a sticker on the front of it.
They literally put a sticker and then like opacity. They like got the blur tool and then just used it around the
and even
Uta.
the sprite as well.
The sprite just chucked her in front of top musica. Like, there you go, buddy. It's Uta. I swear, it's her. No, I think it was a good decision. And I mean, like, I don't know if the campaign is still around to acquire her, but you can get a free copy from 12 mem. Oh, it's you'll have until February 26, 2023 to claim your
Yes.
extra copy of Uta. To obtain the extra copy of Uta, you must clear any quest with any form of the Uta legend on the crew, including as support. The Uta cannot be a friend / helper captain. So
You just need
I
to have
swear
it.
I swear I read somewhere that the free play one doesn't count. Surely not.
No, it
think
has
it's-
to be the.
So if you
Sorry.
pulled a copy of the Legend of Legend Uta, you can acquire a second copy. So for those that pulled 2 copies, you can acquire a third. So you can have 6-star, 6+, and true 6+ as well, which I think is a lot of people would probably have been in that camp there with the 3 copies of Uta there, which is good. I know Todd has like 27 copies of Uta, so it's fair enough. And that's about it for Uta there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. New year, new me, new legends, new versus unit.
Hey,
What?
yo. They actually exist.
They've remembered that it's a mechanic that they can use. So New Year's Legends came out, and I think I'm gonna say it, I don't think anyone predicted this lineup for New Year's.
No.
Maybe Robin? Yeah, maybe Kaido Yamato, but Nami? What?
That's actually the funniest thing though, because when we found out like who the legends were going to be, most people were in the same boat of thinking, "Oh, Nami's going to be the worst one." No one
Nami's
cares
the best
about
legend in the
Nami.
game. I'm just kicking right now. Nami's the best legend in the game. Nami is
She's-
clear.
She's definitely the best of the 3 in my opinion.
Nami is so clear of the 3. So clear. But they're all so good as well, which is
They're
just
all great.
amazing. Plus, fucking 6+ Roger out of nowhere. Holy shit. And he's
A lot of
so
people were like,
good.
"What if they did it?" Because the previous year they did the Odin, and everyone's like, "Oh, what
Surely-
if they did Roger 6+? Surely not,
And
right?"
they did it. And they fucking did it. He's so good. I'm so happy with everything that released. But let's just jump right into it. And let's start with... You'll start with Robin, I think, because
Okay.
Robin seems to be a bit on the teeter-totting of being very good and being somewhat kind of whatever.
I wish she was a lot better than what she is.
I think for these ones, I'm happy to read these ones out because they're the newest stuff. So, Robin's captain ability. She is, a cerebral free spirit quick unit. She's a super class quick unit. Her sprite, she goes off. Her art goes off as well. More power.
Same thing as Zora. Like the aesthetics looks really
amazing.
good. Yeah.
Unit interesting. So, captain ability. Reduces crew's cooldown by a turn. Boosts quick cerebral free spirit by 5.25. HP by 1.25. If character uses a conditional boost, extends that attack boost by 1 turn. If she launches her special, boosts quick cerebral and free spirit attack by 5.5. Instead, and additionally reduces damage taken by 30%. Her special cuts all enemies' HP by 20%, ignoring defensive effects. If captain is cerebral, allows crew to stack 2 different types of conditional boosts for 3 turns. If captain is free spirit, allows crew to stack 2 different types of conditional boosts for 1 turn. Boosts damage dealt to defense down enemies by 2.25 for 2 turns. If enemy has immunity that prevents defense down status, applies an 80% defense reduction for 1 turn for 2 turns otherwise. Her super class is 1 cooldown to the crew, buffs all boosts by 0.25, and gives a 2.5x all boost for a turn. She is the final tap unit, and her condition is any of the following: final battle or any of the straw hats, and boost the chain multiplier by 2.25. I'm just gonna go for it. Her support. When you launch a conditional boost, it buffs the conditional boost by 0.2, and that attaches to any of the Straw Hats, Yamato, Sabo, or Koala. Her Rumble Kit is targets enemies in a large range for 80% paralysis for 10 turns, defense down level 5 for 15 seconds, attack down level 5 for 15 seconds, and 20% HP reduction. And her ability is quick allies receive an HP up, attack up level 5, Seat at level 3, strength enemies receive attack down level 5. And she also has a GP stuff, which is deal 9 power attacks. She targets driven enemies for defense down level 7 for 20 seconds, and targets 3 enemies for 5 extra attack 2 times. That's use of 2 times at most. And quick allies receive HP, speed, and attack level 6. Cerebral free spirit allies receive guard attack at level 4, defense at level 3. So she is the conditional boost queen. My days. It's a very interesting
yes,
kit.
sir.
It's a very interesting kit. So she's going to be like so good for Kizuna though. Incredibly good for Kizuna. The fact that you can just basically double the amount of damage you do by bringing in a second conditional booster is uncanny.
It's actually getting to a point now where it's really difficult to get all of these boosts on one team.
Yeah, you're so right though. Like it's very
not
true.
only do you have to try and fit all these different skills, but also if you want to apply a super tandem effect, you also have to have the right characters. And yeah, it's getting to a point now we have so many different types of buffs. I don't even know how to fit them all on a team.
Strength in the bin, like in terms of strength bosses, sorry, are in the fucking bin now. Shanks pulling up, say hello. Robin's now here. Like, there's just the new Sugar's coming up. Like, there's just so much damage output to be done to strength now. It's uncanny. She's actually a really good unit. It's just really, it's a very unique kit though. The fact that you can pop 2 different conditioner boosts I think is really cool. Yep. It's a very great mechanic. Her captain ability is kind of whatever. Like, I mean, it's take it or leave it.
Pretty mid.
You can't really do much there. But overall, like, she's still a very strong unit. I mean, naturally, she's a New Year's unit, but
like she's super solid. But like, she gives you a conditional boost, and then you can stack another conditional boost as long as you have the right captain. Yeah, and like that in and of itself is really strong. But at face value, that's basically all she does.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
she's
no
just
giving you the debuff.
Nope.
No debuff in her captain ability.
Yeah, no utility at all. And the annoying thing is that she gives you the conditional boost, but 80% defense reduction.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Yikes!
I hate that. I get why, because obviously, like, the defense down prevention is meant to be like, you're not meant to be able to remove the defense regardless or like reduce it. But I mean, it's meant to be it's a Super Sugar Fest Legend, so it's Super Sugar Fest exclusive. Just let her run it and just say, fuck it, 100% defense down, or completely removes defense down, or maybe removes the status instead, so then you can use a separate special. It's to remove defense down as well. Like, I don't know, like that, like something like that maybe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and then I don't know, like in her super class, is it actually true that the orb boost, the orb boost buff procs before her orb boost? I mean, obviously it would.
It does not buff her own orb boost.
That's just so backwards to me, because that doesn't make any sense. Why you
initially
do that.
I had that same like line of thinking, but I also kind of understand why they did it that way, because like a 2.5 orb boost is still really good.
Yeah.
But then it's like, if you have an orb boost that's better than that, you just use that first, then the super class, so then you can just buff your bigger orb boost or whatever.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Support's pretty cool. Buffing conditionals by 0.2. I think it's pretty interesting.
It's interesting. Are there any good characters you can even attach that?
I was gonna say, I don't know. Do any of the Straw Hats give conditional boosts?
Let's see. Oh, you can attach it to Usopp Yasop.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good idea, actually.
There's not a lot, really. There's the Sai Film Red Nami from the Kizuna Rare Recruit.
Yep.
Burn Kichi Arena.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't do Arena for Inosuke because he does the conditional boost on the following turn.
Interesting.
There's a couple, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Her Rumble kit's interesting. I mean, it's kind of whatever.
I'm using her on my main quick team.
Really? How have you found her on the main quick team?
I like her a lot because she is like super duper fast. I use her plus Tezora on the same team.
Okay.
So she gives level 3 CT up, Tezora gives level 5 or whatever,
Yep.
and then like Kaido, I think, but I know Akainu for sure gives himself his own CT. So the quick team just launches their specials super fast, and strength teams don't do anything.
Dead in the bin,
where
they belong. Her GP stuff is cringe. You're not gonna use it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mid.
It's just whatever. So who cares? There's not much else to say, I think, about Robin, really. Out of 10?
20. But on a serious note, I guess, I guess I'll give her like a I think it wouldn't be. I think it's pretty fair to give her like a 8.5 maybe.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable in the 8.59 range. I think like
Aesthetics are a 20.
yeah, clear. She
Yeah.
can crunch my back any day of the fucking week, mate. You know what I'm saying?
God, I wish that were me.
Goddamn. It's like
Hey, me first.
hey, okay, all right, fine. Get a cue, get a line going, get a line going real quick. Like I would, I don't know what else I would want her to do. I think she needed some sort of utility, something utility wise, like maybe an ore block or something like that. I don't know, but I just think that that's kind of what's hindered her a lot is the lack of utility. So
Yeah. She just
otherwise,
doesn't do a lot. Like, even if she had like a thing to resist special reverse and gave cooldown to units or something, like
that'd be
something like
sick,
that would have been cool.
you know. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a hit and miss. But no, I still think it's a really good legend. It's still very New Year's worthy. It's a completely new mechanic that they've introduced entirely with her. So,
And she's gonna be
very
good,
impressed.
like for a long time. She's gonna be good.
Yeah, Kizuna clear. Like she's gonna be so valuable to have in Kizuna teams just because you can stack conditional boosts, and that's
It's such a
basically
shame that there's no strength Kizuna boss this time around.
yeah, that's L. That's L. Hey, Shanks? Question mark.
She'll still be
man.
good though.
God damn it, Shanks. You know, imagine if he went through immunity still one day.
He still doesn't change super type.
He doesn't.
bosses, though.
That's so. I forgot he doesn't change super type. God damn it, Shanks.
Good job.
Maybe the new one that comes out with the Blu-ray release. I don't know. You know, maybe he'll do some
That'd be
fun
nice.
stuff. But yeah, I think for me about 8.59. I think I agree with Knight. 8.59 is about the right range.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I'm gonna move on to Kaido.
Oh, the boy, the dude.
Kaido
right?
versus
Oh.
Yamato. This unit is really cool because their third potential ability is a combination of Final Tap and Super Tendon, which is actually really good because you can just level up both if you pull
Yeah.
duplicate copies of the unit, which is really interesting.
And then like you can use like a Final Tap tablet to level up a Super Tandem, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, yep, 100%.
Very
So
cool.
Kaido is Int Striker driven. His captain ability boosts Striker driven attack by 5.5 with a matching slot 5.25 otherwise, boosts HP by 1.5, makes Int and Tender beneficial, changes recovery slots into Wano, and reduces own special bind / special reverse by 10 turns. If crew launches an attack, orb, or color affinity boosting special, automatically adds 0.25 to the boost, can stack with other boost buffing effects. His
Yes, it can.
special at 14 turns is removes all beneficial effects from the crew, and after launching this special, crew can only use 2 more specials. If another special limiting effect is used, no more specials can be launched. Reduces crew's special cooldown by 20 turns. Changes left column slots, including block into tandem, right including block into Wano, boosts striker driven orbs by 3.25 for 2 turns, and boosts their attack by 3 for 2 turns. His versus effect, one of these, we haven't had these in fucking while. 10 Wano or tandem slots, deals 500x attack in non-type damage to all enemies at the end of the turn for 2 turns, and applies a 1.5x increased damage taken to all enemies for 2 turns, ignoring immunities. His final tap gives himself 2,250 base attack for 1 turn. And his Rumble Kit targets enemies in a large horizontal range for 4x, and after 50 seconds, targets enemies in a large horizontal range for 50% HP reduction. His ability is in allies HP attack level 6, and he revives self once for 50%. And his GP kit, deal 32 instances of damage is the condition, and the special targets all enemies for defense down level 10, and if time remaining is less than 50 seconds, targets side enemies ignoring defense for 2.5x attack. His GP stat is in allies get HP blow away, guard up level 6, dex receive attack speed and defense up, and driven allies receive HP attack and defense up. Whew. He is pretty strong boy, this guy. Very
You
strong
You know,
man.
it's kind of funny.
What's up?
So like back in the day, there's this one like treasure cruise app that I was on before I like started doing Discord and shit.
Yeah.
It was like called One Piece Treasure Cruise Amino.
Oh,
And
Mina,
someone like posted this fucking like V2 crocodile like concept, and it was
Yeah.
basically the same shit that this Kaido did. Not like removing the positive buffs, but like it was like a driven cerebral 3.25 attack and orb boost. I was like, what the fuck? That's
Exact
retarded.
same
And then
thing.
like 3 years later, V2 Croc came back. So there we go.
There you go. He's
Shout
back
out to
with
Mino.
Shout out Mina, guys.
Yeah,
Maybe,
shout out
maybe,
to
it
them,
was,
man.
maybe it was Yoshi in the. He was just having some
Yeah,
fun.
Yoshi was there.
That was actually Toshi.
Oh, it was Toshi.
Ooh.
There you go. The production team on full force. Where to even begin? Like the captain ability is so interesting. It's such a. It's a very.
He's
He
a
buffs-
boy.
He do be doing damage. He is a bit of an Unga Bunga man. The
That's
special's
that's
interesting.
basically what he is. If you had
Unga
to
Bunga
summarize
Man.
Kaido in a couple of words, the Unga Bunga man.
It's the special is interesting because the fact that it only allows 2 more specials after its use. But a few things that people point out is you can use if you use like utility based specials beforehand, you're fine. B, I believe chain lock is still considered a negative effect, so he won't remove that.
Correct.
So 2 ways around it. I mean, to be fair, he still does give a 3.25 attack and a 3x. Sorry, 3.25 orb and a 3x attack, and he gives you a full board of slots.
And if you
Any
use him as a
special
captain, the orb boost goes to 3.5, the attack boost goes
Yeah.
to 3.25.
Which is just gnarly. Like, you know,
Like he's literally giving a full crew Toki buff.
like it's
strong.
What else?
And
would you want
you
to
get
use?
Wano and tandem slots.
Exactly. It's like I don't know, like what other specials. Obviously, you'd want to get a color affinity, conditional, that kind of stuff. But like he's just very solid. But he'll be very good for again Kizuna. He's gonna do fuck tons of damage. You know.
I wonder how it's gonna work in Kizuna. Like how much additional damage can you stack with using his special and then 2 other specials that can give you a buff. I mean, you got his versus effect, which does increase damage taken. You got this special, which gives you attack and all boost, and Wano and tandem slots and stuff.
I guess.
But then you can only use 2 other specials to give you boosts.
I guess affinity.
Yeah, you need affinity of some kind because he also
chain
buffs
buff of
that
some
by
kind.
0.25. Is chain boundary considered negative as like a negative buff?
Yeah, you can use a chain boundary beforehand. That is true.
Yeah, you
So
need
that
color
kind of
affinity
frees it
because he buffs color affinity.
So like the
by
big bomb,
0.25.
the conditional
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah.
Oh, he's driven. He can use that crocodile, the one that
not the
Sienna
TM1.
one, the Dex one,
Oh yeah.
or what? The Dex one that like, and you can put the like Mr. One and double
Yep.
finger support on that. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
It's a good call.
Yeah, I guess like you could get support buffs as well, like snuck in there too, because I guess they wouldn't trigger. They only trigger on special use. Yeah, I don't know. Like I haven't really. Like, he didn't get a moment to shine in the New Year's celebration at all.
No, they haven't made any content for him yet.
And I'm thinking that. I mean, I haven't looked at the Kizuna stuff yet, but does he have? Is this? I think there's a side boss, right?
Correct.
Does he obviously like? Does he look like the go-to in that regard, or what's the?
I haven't had a good look at it, but with the recent support rare recruit that we know is coming out, being Queen, it actually works with the Kaido.
10-star is shooter free, spirit driven, special charge. Stage 2 is 8 turns of despair. Some immunity, some damage, so threshold attack down, and then so that's that one, and then the super boss is shooter free spirit driven, and HP. Battle 2 is paralysis despair, and on defeat on defeat you get a 2.75 X attack boost for 10 turns on the super boss.
Kaido can remove that.
So Kaido removes that, and then all it is the boss. The super bosses this time around are actually piss easy. Like there's no like debuffs, which is actually really good. So you actually go all out. So I guess he'll get his moment to shine in in the Super Boss.
Like,
hopefully,
I think the Super Tandem Big Mom is like one of the best characters to be using
yeah,
alongside this
yeah,
Kaido.
100%. In combination with each other, like you can do a lot of damage here.
Because Big Mom does what? Base attack,
Yep.
color affinity with her super
Yep.
type.
Oh,
She's
yep.
a super type unit in general.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then, because if she's gonna pop the color affinity, and then Kaido buffs the color affinity in that regard.
Oh, actually, he doesn't because it's from Big Mom's super type, which doesn't count as a special.
Oh, boosting special. Yeah, okay, there you go. Never
And
mind.
because it doesn't count as a special, means that you get another free like effect because it's not using up one of your 2 special slots after you use Kaido
Oh.
special.
Also, good point.
Yeah, and Big Mom has super tandem too with Kaido.
I also like the idea that can stack with other boost buffing effects as well. So you can bring units that will buff effects further, and then Kaido also buffs them further than that.
True. Yeah.
So like, there's a lot that he can do, but again, I don't know. I think it's still like one of those. I mean, his versatility is kind of whatever. It doesn't seem too difficult to acquire as well. I mean,
on the super boss, they're gonna fully charge it for us anyway, which is good.
So you get that 1 point. I guess he will be super good because you'll get that 1.5x increased damage taken because it goes through immunities.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Otherwise, like, I don't know, there's not much else to him, I suppose. His rumble kit's okay. It seems like it does a lot of damage, but 36 CT is a lot.
Self-revive, Lamau.
That's cool.
Jesus.
It's always an OP little ability there, self-revive.
I'm sick and tired of reviving units.
Yeah, hell no, fuck off. Please, stop. Just die, forehead. Not hard.
Exactly.
No, otherwise, I think he's really good. He's very solid again. But out of 10, I don't know, anything else about him? I don't think there is anything else to kind of cover on his
He's
behalf.
going to be fun. I wonder how he's going to go in comparison to, like, Hybrid Kaido. And
yeah, that's gonna be the big comparison point, right?
For this upcoming Kizuna, I think this guy will probably be more ideal. But in future Kizunas, is this guy going to see, like a lot of play? Well, one thing in particular that's interesting is like Hybrid Kaido does not receive cooldown on any of the super boss fights, but we know in the past that hasn't stopped him before.
Exactly. There's always a way around it. There's always a way to involve him of some kind.
And the fact that Hybrid Kaido is a super class striker, I believe he is. And with all the New Year's Legends essentially being strikers,
you'll get him in somehow. He'll be involved in some capacity.
I think he might see some play still.
He's always going to be involved in some capacity, so.
I was going to ask, how do you guys feel about both of the Super Sego Kaidos back-to-back being like Kizuna Legends?
I think it's hilarious, to be honest. I don't like it, but it's funny.
Yeah,
I think the problem with with how legends are kind of like, there's no way to really like use them other than like there's no way to get Unga Bunga damage other than like Kizuna. Like you're not gonna, like, in my opinion, you're not gonna really benefit from Tandem Kaido anywhere else than Kizuna at the moment, And I feel like the same goes for this Kaido that's released as well. It's like naturally there's not enough content to do that, but there's no other places where you can just like, I'm gonna just go do like 400 million damage for fun and then move on with my day. You have to do it in Kizuna.
That's fair.
So like, I think a lot of the units are just gonna be compared to Kizuna stuff in no matter what, which is kind of good but kind of annoying because I wish that there was like more metrics to kind of base them off. But I mean, Kizuna's like kind of the end all be all for a lot of character quality and stuff like that too. So yeah, it's kind of it's a weird little process that they're always like, okay, Kaido's good in Kizuna. All right, go use him. Move on with your day. All right, out of 10, lads, for Kaido.
9.13.
Damn, okay. Means got pie, half a pie, double pie. What? I don't know, math. Night.
Yo.
What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like a 9 maybe. I don't know. It's kind of weird because like the 2 special limit, like that's kind of annoying, but then again, like most of the stuff where you want to bring him, like, why are you using any other specials, honestly, besides that one? You just use that and like shit stomp, and
Yeah.
you can just use other like boosting specials before. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like the way that the game is now compared to like back in the day.
Yeah.
It's just like that's how I feel. But like I just yeah, I'll just give him a 9.
Yeah.
I feel like he's good.
Oh yeah, and his final tap is terrible.
Oh, his final time's ass. It's so
Just base
bad.
attack boost.
It's so
But
bad.
I wonder how he'll go in
Oh,
like
yikes.
Kizuna, for example. In Kizuna, imagine like a level 5 final tap with like max base attack, and then you can use the in support rare recruit Moria for additional base attack, 1.3 multiplier. Like his base attack will actually be massive.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck, you're not wrong. Actually, it's a good point.
But either way,
Is that higher than Luffy's, or is that about the same?
ooh,
Like, you consider the Wano Warp and shit?
that is a good question.
Mm,
Actually, because what happens is the support. I don't know how the support works. Like, so you activate the special, it multiplies the current base attack by 1.3, and then does the final tap just add 2250, or is it like that gets added and then the support still multiplies that? I don't think it does.
I think it adds on top of whatever
Yeah.
the base attack is at the time. I think it adds 2250. So I would agree with this. Yeah, I think that's what it does. I mean, again, happy to someone to test that and let us know. But yeah, I think that's kind of what it does.
It should have over 6,000 base attack, which is good.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's before anything as well, which is just fucking gnarly. I'd probably give him like 9.25. Very strong. He's this year's Unga Bunga man. You know, like he's just Hey, you want damage? Here you go. All right, the counter half of versus Kaido versus Yamato. Ooh la la. Let me just get this up real quick.
Yamato.
My toe.
Who wants to see Yama's toes?
Hey, nah, rather.
Hey, don't look at me.
I'm looking. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. All right. Yamato, hybrid form versus Yamato, Dex Striker Free Spirit. Captain ability. Boost Striker Free Spirit by 5.75 with a matching slot 5.5x otherwise. Boost the HP by 1.3. Makes tandem beneficial. Boosts the chance of landing on tandem slots and reduces despair by 10 turns. Her special at 14 turns changes right column slots including block to tandem, left column slots including block to Wano. Boosts Striker Free Spirit attack by 3x for 1 turn if the Captain of Striker Free Spirit applies a damage reduction based attack boost. So that is an attack boost that is based on the damage reduction buffs percentage, i.e. 1.8x for an 80% damage reduction and so on for 3 turns. If the crew has a damage reduction based attack boost when the special is launched, boosts Striker and Free Spirit orbs by 2.75 for a turn and reduces damage taken by 80% for a turn. Her versus effect, same condition as Kaido, 10 Wano or tandem slots. The effect itself reduces damage taken by 60% for 2 turns, makes tandem beneficial for 2 turns, and for the crew, and for 2 turns, changes tandem slot multiplier to 2.25 when it is a matching slot. Her tandem ability, so she's super tandem as opposed to Kaido being final tap. Her tandem ability, any 2 on the crew, this is at level 5, so any 2 on the crew, so any of the Straw Hats, Ace or Momonosuke. Her effect is applies a 2.25x tandem boost for Striker Free Spirit characters for a turn and applies a 1.3x increased damage taken to all enemies all enemies ignoring immunity. Her specials on the 34 CT targets enemies for attack and speed up levels. Targets teams for attack and speed up level 7 to 10 seconds. Targets enemies in a large range for 2.55 damage. And targets quick enemies for 2.5x damage and 70% chance for paralysis for 7 seconds. Her ability, Dex allies receive level 6 up attack, level 5 up defense. Quick enemies receive CT down, special CT level 3 down, and defense on level 5. Her GP burst abilities and such. When 10 enemies are defeated, targets 3 high defense enemies for 4.5k fixed, and targets quick enemies for 100% half stats for 20 seconds. You can use this 2 times. And her GP stats are in allies get 8 and attack, speed, and defense up. Dex allies get HP, crit, and guard up. And Free Spirit allies get attack, HP, and special. CT up. Yamato is clear. if you're comparing the both of them, Yamato is so clear. 5.75 attack for captain ability. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
We
that's
are really
crap.
there. That's the highest in the game now, right? 5.75.
I
Well,
reckon
no,
we're-
Nami Robin.
Oh,
my
shit,
God.
yeah, 6x.
No,
Hey, but
V1 Big Mom in her rampage status. 10
Yes.
times or 12 times attack.
True.
Yes,
You're not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Or what about
Nami
V1
Ro-
Sanji with his jump? What does he get to
Nami
then?
Robin actually count for 6x though because of Corazon Law making empty slots count as beneficial. So their 6x
Yeah, but
is
that's
actually
like
6x.
that's basically that's you need one other unit to make that actually good, which is kind of shit.
Touche. But this you need a matching slot, Todd. They're hard to come by. So hold that.
5.75. Like when I read that, like, dude, there's no way.
5.5x otherwise, by the way. Is it just
Yeah.
it's just cash 5.5 minimum. 5.75 like buffed. HP, tandem beneficial, boost the chance of landing on tandem, and 10 turns of despair. What? Jesus, so
Overall solid.
so strong as and that captain's gonna last for so long. Despair reduction as well is really good. Kind of annoying because if you were to use her with Roger, you don't really get the kind of just cringe despair Donnies. I mean, it'd be cool if it was, or again, if she was bind again, that'd been so sick.
True.
Despair's fine. Her special is just, again, another unique new mechanic of an attack boost that's based upon a conditional attack boost that's based upon damage reduction, which is interesting, but it's also kind of weird because it's gated
Yeah.
at a maximum of 2x. And it can't go any higher than that.
And I don't know how it works, but from what I've heard, people say the damage nullification does not.
Yeah, I don't think it
you
would.
The boost, so
I
it
think-
has to be a percent damage.
I agree. I think that's the
Well,
case.
the icon itself has like the rainbow shield with an arrow pointing to an attack buff. So yeah, damage nullification has a different colored shield.
Like
Makes-
it's, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I'd rather not use this as my conditional boost, but I mean, it's self-procking in a sense because
it doesn't actually count as a conditional boost. It's like it's a new buff really altogether. So you can stack conditional boosts with this.
Okay, well then in that case that's fine. Then it's just more damage output regardless.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's for 3 turns as well, which is really good.
Yeah, because like you can use like one Yamato 1 turn, and it's a 3-turn damage reduction attack. So you move on to the next stage, and then you use the second Yamato, and because you have the damage reduction attack boost, you get attack boost, orb boost, and the damage reduction to make that buff actually work.
Full border slots as well.
Yeah, it's
3x
crap.
attack, 2.75 orb, and then she makes tandem. She gives right column tandem, so they all get 5.7. Everyone gets a matching slot, so 5.75. And then if you use her versatility, the slot multiplier goes to 2.25, so just below Wino. So, like, she's doing all that and some. Like, she's actually kind of cracked.
Like double Yamato or using 2 Yamatos on the team is like nutty. Like that's all your damage you need, really. Like she just single-handedly does all your damage.
Super Tandem's strong. Applies increased damage taken through immunity plus 2.25x boost. Her Rumble Kit I love her Rumble Kit. It's so good.
I mean, just because Dex needed support, right?
Yeah, they needed more units, right? You know.
Oh my god. Actually disgusting.
She just kills quick. Like it's done. Like she does 2.55x damage in a large range, and then hey, if you're quick, by the way, fuck you, 2.5x damage as well, and 70% chance to paralyze. Like, that's not fair.
And the Rumble ability that's like perma debuff against quick.
Yeah, just CT down and defense down permanently.
Oh my.
Like, that's not fair. Stop that. Stop it. Get some help.
Like, yeah, like Dex just don't lose to quick. They just don't. They before Yamato they still never did. Now they're just
like permanently we will not, like we're fine. Like at this point you could build 2 Dex teams with like bespoke separate units, and they're just both really, really good. There's so many good Dex Rumble units.
That's actually true, yeah.
Super Tandem's good. Her kit's good. She's incredible. So highest attack, her highest captain ability in the game. Obviously, with an asterisk aside, if you really want to get nitpicky.
I think
Not
we're
much
gonna
else to
reach 6
say.
times. We're gonna reach 6 times this year, I reckon.
I would be shocked if our ninth Annie units weren't 6x minimum.
I mean, either Annie or that one character that's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, that one Donnie that at some point, right?
The big boy.
Yeah.
Yep. I reckon we might be reaching 6x.
I'd be surprised if we didn't, to be honest with you.
That's actually gross to think about. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Do you think it would be 6x flat or like 6x after like special activation?
I think for that special character, 6x flat would make sense.
5.6 flat after special 6 times.
Yeah, that also makes. I like that. I like that.
5.94.
just cuts off right. Hey, bitch, hold that end sub. No, I actually like that idea. 5.6x flat and then 6x after matching orb or after special or whatever it is. It'd be really cool. Not much else to say on Yamato though. She's just clear. Once again, another fantastic Yamato legend. Another really good Yamato legend.
Yeah,
out of
and
10?
Yamato as a character in Treasure Cruise is still Super Sugo Fest only. We
Yeah,
still
that's
don't have
fucked.
a free to play one.
We have a free to play Roger. We don't have a free to play Yamato. Like,
Yeah,
that's
Crazy.
fucked.
out of 10 though.
Gatekeep and Booba. That's crazy.
True. Let him know, dude. Let him know.
9.43.
Okay. I think for me, 9.65.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give him a 9 just because I didn't pull him.
Hold that.
Not yet.
And then night, sorry.
Yeah, 9.54321.
What is it?
Okay.
Countdown lift off? Fucking and that lift
Yeah,
off
because
is
it's time for Nami.
hey, let them know.
Ooh,
Let's
see
good
that
transition.
transition?
Good transition. New year,
Transition.
new night. New year, new night. Transition king. Nami's the best legend in the game. I'm not gonna let anyone tell me otherwise. No,
She's so good.
Nami is so fucked. Nami's, and I want to fuck. But anyway, Nami.
Hey, yo.
Nami is a striker free spirit Psy unit with superclass for striker.
So funny that it's not cerebral.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Her captain ability reduces her own cooldown by 3 turns, reduces crew's cooldown by 1 turn, boosts Psy striker free spirit attack based on tap timing of the previous character, so minimum of 5.25 and a max of 5.5. Boosts their HP 1.3, makes Psy recovery in tandem beneficial, greatly boosts the chance of landing on tandem orbs, completely removes paralysis duration, and reduces own cooldown by the number of turns of paralysis reduced. Her special. The special can be overcharged beyond its max cooldown. Shout out to Elisabello one time. Reduces crew's cooldown by 1 turn. Reduces percent damage reduction and resilience by 7 turns. Deals 200x attack and non-type damage to all enemies. Applies 75% chance of paralysis for 3 turns to all enemies, ignoring immunity. Boosts the chain by 1.5. An additional 0.1 is added for every 5 special cooldown over her max, up to 2.5. Up to a maximum of 2.5 for 1 turn. Boosts free spirit, Psy, and striker base attack by 1250. An additional 250 is added for every 5 special cooldown over her max for up to 3,000 for 1 turn. Her superclass requires Straw Hats or Yamato, or 4 specials. Her superclass deals 100x attack and non-type damage to all enemies, ignoring defensive effects and base defense. Reduces threshold by 5 turns and changes own slot, including block, into tandem. Boosts damage dealt to paralyzed enemies by 2.25 for 1 turn. Her super tandem at level 5 is conditional. Condition any 2 of the following on the crew, so Straw Hats, Yamato, or Big Mum. And her effect is 2.25x tandem boost to striker free spirit for a turn, and increases crew's a conditional attack boosting effects by 0.5 for 1 turn. Her support, if in the quest you're inflicted with paralysis, reduce it by a turn and reduce crew's cooldown by a turn to any of the Straw Hats plus Yamato for that. Her Rumble Kit targets enemies in a large range for random damage between 1 to 3,000 for 2 times. Targets free spirit allies for speed up level 7, defense up level 4 for 15 seconds. Her Rumble ability Free Spirit allies receive HP recovery speed level 6, receive attack down level 5, and her GP kit condition is 55k damage, targets all enemies for random damage between 5 to 5,000 3 times, and that can be launched twice. And her stats, her GP stat, Psy receive defense, attack, and speed up. Striker Free Spirit receive HP attack recovery up. Oh my god.
Yes.
Gentlemen, let us discuss.
Any content with paralysis gets single-handedly destroyed by this character.
Yeah, hold that, quick paralysis, Johnnies.
Yep.
Hold that, nerds. This
And the
unit, Nami's so good. Why is she this good?
The cool thing is, there are so many other good free spirit hybrids you can run with this character. Like, you can use Roger for despair removal, or the new Yamato for despair removal. You could use Sai Yamato for bind removal alongside this for paralysis reduction. Like, free spirit is just so broken.
It's
So busted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Her
ace.
True.
Her captain ability 5.5 max if you hit it perfect, so just don't be a goober and hit goods and greats, you know. And then HP boost, 3 slots beneficial, increases the chance of laying on tandem, completely removes paralysis, and that removed paralysis becomes special charge.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing ever.
What?
Like, even if it was just the paralysis reduction, she'd still already be really good. But
She's
the
on a
fact that
12
it
turn
charges,
cooldown, Todd. 12
And
turns.
the thing that people didn't realize when we first read her abilities is that if the whole crew is inflicted with like 5 turns of paralysis,
You get
every
all
character,
of it.
every character that removed the paralysis counts for cooldown.
You get all of it.
6 characters, 5 turns of paralysis. What's 5 times 6? 30 turns of cooldown. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god. What the fuck? And then specials like, hey, by the way, here's some cooldown, here's some damage reduction and resilience removal, here's some damage for support, here's a paralysis, and then we have a conditional boost in her super class. Oh, by the way, here's a chain boost. Oh, do you want to buff that chain boost? Oh, we can buff that to 2.5, which is fucked. Oh, here's a base attack boost. Oh, we can buff that to 3k. What? Jesus Christ.
And the cool thing is, if you know you're going to be inflicted with paralysis in the next turn, you can just straight up all right, this stage, I'll use a special, and I got it again for the next turn because I'm inflicted with paralysis. That
was the coolest part about the TM, right? The current TM that's going on. The fact that you can just pop Nami. Obviously, I know that TM's made for her, right?
Yeah.
But you can pop Nami, get paralyzed, charge the special, remove the paralysis, and then just pop Nami again. Come on, dog. Like, it's not okay. Like, her kit is just so it's perfect. It's so well done.
I did a little bit of a showcase for Roger yesterday, and I used Nami on the team just because of her crewmate ability to remove paralysis and then charge her special, so I could use her like twice.
She does quickly. Have that. Yep. If crews inflicted with paralysis halves the duration of the paralysis, rounded to the lowest number, and reduces own cooldown by that number of turns reduced. That's so like nuts.
3 turn paralysis for the whole crew. It rounds it down to only 1 removal, but then minus 6 cooldown for herself.
Which is just fucked.
Like, okay, I'll take
it. Come on, dog.
Yeah, dude, she's all types of cracked. And then she also has special reverse resistance crewmate ability and a -1 cooldown special, so you can use her in that sense as well. Oh my god.
I'm still honest with you. I think this is the best legend in the game. I genuinely think this is the best legend in the game. I'm so perplexed at how good this unit is. Obviously, time will tell. I know how this game works, but Nami's just she just. Sorry, my bad. But no, see for me, Bullet's like not in the conversation because he's just the best, right? You know, it's just bar none. And then you talk about everything. It's like if you looked at like Todd's tiers, how he has top 5. I just have like another row above that saying Bullet, and Bullet's just there. You know, I just think Nami. Like maybe I'm being like I am exaggerating and saying that Nami's the best legend in the game, but it's just the fact that her kit is so incredible and just so well designed and fine tuned. And if you combine her with Robin, so you get the 2 conditional boosts and all this extra stuff, and then Nami has a lot of like, debuff removal and utility, and the fact the whole paralysis mechanic is incredible. It's so good.
Yep.
It's so New Year's unit level of quality as well. You know, I'm just so happy.
Did you talk about a super type, a super class special?
I might have either or.
That's also really good.
It's a conditional boost of 2.25x to paralyze enemies, and she also paralyzes enemies through immunity, so guaranteed conditional boost. She changes her own slot into tandem, including block, so you can get her super tandem off, and she deals damage as well, and reduces 5 turns of threshold, which is
extra utility.
So she reduces percent damage reduction, resilience, and threshold, and removes paralysis.
Yep.
What do you want,
and
lad?
then also provides massive damage increase to the crew as well.
What more do you want, lad? Like, it's uncanny. And obviously, everyone's counter argument would be, oh, but like, it might be difficult to get her maxed out, buffs. And that's fine. But
you don't need the max buff all the time.
No, you don't. Like, at the minimum, the chain buff being what is it, 1.5? I think at the starting point.
Yeah, base 1.5
is incredible. And then obviously like the base attack boost being 1250 is kind of but I mean it's additional damage regardless. You know, like it's not the worst thing you could have. And for her overcharging special, does she work like Elizabello where if you just pass turns it charges? Okay, it does. All right, well, like in that case you're gonna get at minimum a little bit of an extra buff, because in a fight you're gonna at least get 5 turns at minimum every time, so it's gonna go to what, 1.6 and 1500 at the bare minimum. I think it's incredible. I still think it's just leaps and bounds above anything else. It's
a base attack boosting special, so you can use that new Brook Film Red support.
Yeah.
On Nami.
Ooh, la la.
So you can get chain multiply and chain boost.
Yeah. All right. Nami's fucked. Nami's fucked. She's so also, good.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god. Yeah. This character's really strong. So they did a really good job with this unit. Honestly, really good.
I agree. Her rumble kit.
Her rumble shit sucks though.
Yeah. Is it still broken? I remember people saying it was broken. Like, what was broken about it?
The issue is that enemy defense stops the fixed damage. Like, it's not actually fixed damage right now. It's like it's counting it as normal damage.
Oh no. Oh dear.
And it's her DP skill is also bugged with the same issue. So they need to fix that.
Okay. Well, after they fix that, do you think she gets any sort of benefit in Rumble still, or do you think she's still kind of
She'll be better, usable? But she won't be optimal, I'll say.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
GP ability is also kind of as well. I think the consensus for all the GP skills is that they're all kind of this time around again. And I think it was exactly what you mentioned way back at the start of the episode, where Roger, Whitebeard, Uta, and you could argue Super Tandem Luffy are just the clear 4 front runners of GP stuff. So,
like, if you just look at Nami's abilities, like, you read all this, like, why don't you just use Roger instead?
Yeah, like, 100%.
Like 100%. Nami also boosts Sign Free Spirit. Like, you might as well just use freaking Roger at this point.
I think it would have been cool if she was cerebral, actually. I think that would have been very interesting.
It would have been. Local Sea Monster would have been a cinch.
Oh, yeah, facts. They did it on purpose, too, to be honest with you, I reckon. They're just like, let him suffer for another, like, 6 more months. let him be. That's it. I don't know. What else? There's nothing else to talk about on Nami's regard there, but gentlemen, out of 10?
9.68.
Ooh. Not even 6.9. I respect it.
Nope.
9.88.
I'm gonna go like 9.9. I think she's class.
Woo!
She's absolute. I don't think she's a perfect 10. I think the Rumble stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it's a bit high. Maybe 9.8 actually, because I think the Rumble stuff is kind of cringe, and maybe after it's fixed, people can have a better run with her and see how she does. But
yeah,
otherwise, she's gonna absolutely decimate the super boss. She's gonna run it. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that all pans out. There you go. New Year's. I guess we should talk about the banner. Todd, how did your Super Sugo Fest banner go? Are we still not talking about that?
Oh yeah, well, part 1 was amazing, really. That it went sort of okay.
Yep.
getting so I ended up doing 30 in total on part 1, and
Yep.
I rainbowed Robin, so that was funny.
Damn.
And then I got 2 copies of Kaido vs Yamato, and then no Nami.
Okay.
So I still needed to get Nami. Nami was on part 4, and part 4 was a mess. Shout out to Stump. Fuck Stump.
Little collab with Stumpy.
Oh my god. So yeah, Stump and I both did 30 multis for those who didn't see it. And out of those 30 multis, I pulled 1 copy of Nami, and Stump rainbowed his Nami. So yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
It's the dichotomy of man. The dichotomy of man, the duality of man.
Yeah. But to be fair, I did pull enough copies of Roger Whitebeard to rainbow him, which was good.
That's
and
cool.
I rainbowed Ace Yamato, which was alright.
Nice.
So I still pulled a couple good things, but obviously Nami was the target, so it was it was a deep cut.
Yeah. Yep. For me, me and Big Sugo Fest, I think I'm happy. I popped off.
Hell yeah.
Part 1, I did 6 multis. I got Robin and Nami, which was very good. Part 2, I did 15 multis and got Kaido vs Yamato. Part 3, I was missing Shanks and Beckman Lucky Roo. I picked both of them up in 6 multis. And then part 4, I was missing Usopp Yasop, picked them up in 2 multis. So I mean, no dupes, but I mean, me personally, I don't really care about dupes anyway, so it's fine. To get basically, I got all the news legends in 21 multis, and then I did an additional 8 and picked up Sugo Fest. I picked up Quick Shanks, Beckman Lucky Roo, and Usopp Yasop, which I was really wanting Usopp Yasop and Beckman Lucky Roo because I know how incredible they are. So to get them in such a short period of time was just super lucky in itself.
Good stuff.
Super happy. Like, there's part of me that's like considering jumping back in and doing a couple more just to see like just to maybe get a couple of dupes of Super Sugo Fest characters. But then also part of me is like, yeah, like we'll see Super Sugo Fest come back around him potentially in Global Annie. So we'll see.
And then you got like a bunch of like extra gems left over too.
Yeah, I think I ended on 1,000 gems. I didn't buy a single gem pack doing the pools, but currently I'm back up to like 1,800 gems and starting to get gem mail again. So like, it's clear pretty much. So like, I'm very, very happy with my position in that kind of field there. So overall, very, very ecstatic. That's it. New Year's wrapped up, done up, kaput, finished, completed. Awesome.
It was good.
Wow.
Wow.
Wonder what they're going to do next year.
We'll see you guys next year. It's the last episode until the New Year's banner again. I guess we'll just keep plowing through because there's a few more things to talk about. The new TM structure. I don't know how long we want to harp on this, but I'm happy to just take the helm and run it real quick.
Yeah, it's odd, I'll tell you that.
So from what we've seen is they have increased the base starting points. So all the mini bosses start at 1,500. The final boss starts at 8,000, and the invasion starts at 12,000 points.
So like before, it was like the mini bosses were 1K, and now it's up to 15K.
Yep.
Oh, what 1,500 should I say? And then it was 4K to 8K, right?
Yep.
For the main boss.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's all the increases. And then the 5% increase per run is still the same. The thing that they changed though is that they've removed the invasion fight so for every map there's no invasion fight. However, on the bonus map, so every 5th treasure map run, you get the invasion fight, and that invasion fight still continues to scale by 5% every time regardless. So you like I believe the first invasion fight starts at 14,400 points. What has been calced by the community, and I will give a shout out to Shiro because he did show me his calcs and I double checked over them, is that so there's technically like very minimal difference in the amount of runs you will do to get to 10 mil. So according to the old system, I would get to 10 mil in 31 nav levels with my boosts. Instead, I got to it in 30. However, the time difference is uncanny. I was able to finish 30 runs in less than 24 hours, and that's me playing very leisurely. as opposed to those 30 runs would have taken me 3 days in my kind of play speed. The fact that you remove a invasion fight. So the way that I kind of looked at it was in 5-run chunks. So instead of doing 30 fights in 5 runs, you do 26. So if you say every invasion fight takes 2 minutes, let's say, you remove 8 minutes per 5 chunk, and then for me, over 30 runs, you divide the 30 runs by the 6 chunks. So then you multiply the 8 minutes by the 6, and you get like 48 minutes. So basically, you save an hour per 30 navs, and obviously, getting to 10 mil means you get to 10 mil a lot faster, right? Yeah. Which is what this, I think people need to keep in mind, is that this is what the update was for. It wasn't for increasing how many points you earn. It wasn't for speeding up TM in the long run. It was for making 10 mil rewards more accessible quicker. So you were spending less time in treasure map.
Which I think they needed to do. Yeah. But what I have heard though is that apparently East Blue's kind of fucky.
East Blue hasn't got the points aren't. I think Doble put a post on Reddit saying what the hell's happening in East Blue, and I believe the points haven't been fixed in East Blue, so it's really shit. It's very bad in East Blue. So they need to
imagine being in East Blue.
Yeah, cringe lord, am I
right? Especially because a bunch of new players would have come in for New Year's. They kind of need to fix that.
Yes. But I think the way that we saw it was that post 10 mil, the old system takes the helm in terms of points. Like if you were to compare points at different nav levels, the old system earns you more points, but you have to keep in mind that you're doing more runs faster in the new system. So you take it with a grain of salt per se. Like it really is negligible regardless, but I think this is actually a really good TM update because getting 10 mil is just so much faster now. And I'm a big fan of that. That's it really, I think, like, because otherwise, I just think it's a really good update. Easy money. Easy shmoney.
Way to steal my strat.
Yeah, hold that. But that was the thing though, because everyone always colloquialized this treasure map strat as like stacking, right? Where you'd skip the invasion boss for ages, so you would spend less time in runs, and then eventually you'd start hitting the invasion boss when it was worth a lot of points, and it was just faster to do that, right? And they've basically just taken that strat and just implemented it into the main game, and they've just gone from there. So I think it's a very positive update without a doubt. Last on the list there. So obviously we have the super boss Kizuna versus Doflamingo coming up, and we also have 6+ Sugar has been announced. I'm probably not going to read through the whole thing, but a couple buffs on her behalf. These include an increase to the base of the toys. So now it's at 2750 after the buff, and level limit break buffs it to 3250. She gives an attack boost now, I believe. In her special. In her level limit break. And the chain buff is now to 0.8 instead of the previous 0.7. Her super type is still an orb boost and reduces her own cooldown by 3 turns as well now. And her rumble kit, defense down and strength allies get attack down level 9, and then her special, that's her special and her ability is strength receive level 9, special CT down, and quick allies get special CT up. So she's a bit more usable in Rumble now.
No one's really going to use this character, unfortunately.
But again, it's kind of, very negligible.
Kika already got so many good legends that I don't think that this unit can really find a place. I mean, people were making discussions, like, if you have to go up against a strength team with, like, waifus are very annoying to deal with in Rumble due to the confusion debuff, and this can kind of help you kill them before they're able to do that. Yeah. So I guess there might be one situation where she's useful in Rumble, but most of the time she's not going to be that good.
Yeah.
The biggest thing with Sugar, though, is with the level limit break, so the way that it kind of is her basics plus is just a slight upgrade. the level limit break buff with the 6+, that's where you want to be. Those buffs that she gets are actually really strong. She now becomes like a pseudo speed farming captain, -2 cooldown to driven and cerebral. That's wicked. And then increasing the duration of any attack boosting buff, which with the level limit break, she does do an attack boost, 2.5. And then with her super class or super type being an orb boost, you get an attack boost and an orb boost with this character by yourself. And she also changes all natural slots into matching. She doesn't go through block or anything, but still. She's a really solid unit with the level limit break, but I just don't see this character ever seeing play with the basic plus. She's just not that good.
Yeah, you need level limit break without a doubt.
Yeah.
And then even then, like I still love Sugar. I think Sugar's still one of the coolest mechanics in the game. I love the toy soldier mechanic. But yeah, I think we're kind of in a day and age where it's kind of tough to fit her in. And like you can really go above and beyond that 3-2-5-0 attack now with level limit breaks introduction and level 150, and a lot of the base attack boosting specials as well. So I don't know. I don't know how they would have resolved. I still think it's a good. It's still a very good 6+, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else they could have done.
Yeah, I don't know where this character is going to see a lot of play, but I think that some people will probably be able to come up with some really cool like meme teams where you can kind of run like a speed farm cerebral driven team and like use the toy soldiers to bypass like bind or paralysis or enemy barriers and stuff. So I think she'll have some play, some use, but not the most broken 6+ ever. I think
I'll wait for Subconti's video because I'm sure he'll come up with something wacky to do with 6+ Sugar.
I will say that the artwork got a bit of an upgrade. I much prefer this
artwork looks cool. I really like the new artwork.
And you got to see it. We got to wait for an ink effect and the special animation.
Yeah, exactly right. So lots of good stuff there. That's it. We did it. That's the bulk of the ep.
Lots of stuff that we missed while we were off.
Yeah, that's right. From everyone's favorite section in other news, there was a random ship update that came out. It's random. So the way that it works now is every time you try to upgrade the ship, it's a guaranteed success, and you can now stack cola up to 99,999. New ship update coming out? ? I guess we'll have to wait and see. There was the release of Arena Sasaki. There was the One Piece Odyssey collab, and that released the unit of Adio. He's kind of negligible, like whatever. He's not really too good.
I wish they made a legend of him.
He should have been a legend. Yeah.
Dude, he's such a cool character, really cool devil fruit. Even if you guys are not going to play Odyssey, you should go like look up his wiki page if there is one, and just like read up what he does because he's such a cool character. He would have been wicked as a legend. Yeah.
What they should have done with him is they should have released him as a legend, and then on the banner had like limited rare recruits.
Oh, that'd have been sick.
Like bring back those remember those like wacky like limited rare recruit banners? Bring that kind of make him a legend on that banner, make it a 10 legend banner, and then just have a lot of the boosted rare recruits just be all the limited rare recruits. So you just pull a crap ton of and then that's what they could have fucking brought back a Kaino and Kuzan and shit. You know, that would have been the opportunity to do so.
Cool.
There was a bunch of Pirate Rumble buffs to like a handful of legends. Not going to go through those, but they're there, I suppose. I think the main, there was Zoro and Sanji got a buff. I think a couple of the law units got buffs as well.
Kuma
got a buff. He's still shit. There's a new option for special video once per day. No one knows what this means still. I think it's for special units only, so Super Sugo Fest units, where it'll skip the quote-unquote movie animation, you only have to see it once per day. Then after that, it kind of does the wipe, it does the little wipe animation and shows their name and the name of the special, and then disappears. So I guess it speeds things up.
They popped off with the animations with the New Year's Legends.
Exactly right.
So good.
But then they offered you a way to skip them. So I don't know about that one.
So weird.
And then probably the best quality of life update that come out, which came out of the blue, mind you. There is a new update that allows you to see the value of the buff now. So you can press and hold a buff on your crew, and below it, it will show you the number of that buff. So if you press and hold your conditional boost, it'll say 2.25 or whatever. And I believe the reason this update came out is literally for Legend Nami. So that's probably why they released this, so people are aware.
How are we 8 years into this game
and it just came out? Yeah, fucked, right? So
stupid.
messed up. Oh, well, that's
Hey,
it. That's...
blame Dreamcom.
Hey, blame Dreamcom. Yeah, exactly. Bandai's clear now. Dreamcom, we're on your asses now, lads. Fucking stay in the streets, man. From in other news to our shout-outs. We are back, baby. Thank you guys, as always, for your continued support, especially those that continue to support us over the break. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoy the content and you want to support us financially, you can do so by hitting the join button. There are a bunch of different tiers for different price points. And then on top of that, if you don't want to support us financially, you can support us for free by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, and doing all that kind of fun stuff. But I will give a shout out to our GGP producers of The Lord Shiro and Alex Kuznetsky, our perfect member of Brian Keeson McDermott, our great members of Cody, CS Wins, and My Drunken Monkey, and our good members of Riolan, Stump, Red Halo, Dr. Erection, and Wankerfella. Thank you all for the
Shout out to those
support.
guys.
And from everyone's favorite
Thanks,
section
guys.
into the shoutouts, into everyone's actual favorite section, it is the Q&A. We're back,
Q&A.
baby. Back in the swing of it. If you have any questions you want to send through to us, you can send them through us on Twitter at GGP Podcast or via our YouTube community tab. First question comes in from Twitch Maniac, so Mr. Maniac himself. He asked, how were the holidays? If it's filmed after TM, if this episode's filmed after TM, what do you think about the changes to Treasure Map? And what about what other changes would you like to see in relation to the changes already done? In my opinion, point spot should be 20% of the maximum total points. No sense higher ranks can do more runs, plus more chests, plus higher rank. So I think he just says, like, you know, point spots should increase. Like, you should earn more points from the point spots you run on. I would agree.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I still think that what's it called, the expedition mode should scale depending on your nav level.
Expedition is so garbage.
It should scale depending on your nav level. It should be like your nav level multiplied by the base. Your nav level multiplied by because I think the base amount of points you can earn is 40,000. I think it is. So it should be multiplied by your nav level, and that becomes the new base. Would be my, that's I've said that for years. But I think the expedition mode should be scaled based upon your nav level. I would like to see that as an update. Because then at least if you're at like nav level 20, you can do the expedition mode and earn 800,000 points over 5 hours. Which obviously if you played, you would earn more than 800,000 points in 5 hours. But for those that can't play, they can play as much as they can in that time period, and then just expedition mode the remaining points because you would earn a lot more in those time slots.
Yep.
I think that's it. Any other TM updates you guys rearing for?
As long as they fix the stuff for East Blue for newer players, I think the update is actually not bad.
Yeah, TM's in a good spot right now. Still a boring mess, but I think it's just so much quicker to get to your 10 mil reward, so I'm very happy with the update overall. It's rare for me to say TM's a good mode. I mean, just kidding. TM's the best mode in the game.
Always.
Next question from Red Halo. Red Halo asks, hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. As for my question, if you were to make one character a legend this year who doesn't already have one, who would you choose?
Super Sugo Katakuri.
Ooh.
Ew.
Oh.
Ew. Whoa.
Ew, yucky.
Legend Stussy. We all know.
Yes, sir.
I was actually gonna say that, but I was gonna say I don't think we're gonna get up to that.
No, absolutely no way we're gonna get this year. Fucking Legend Stussy.
No shot.
Hey, she can put me to sleep any day of the week, G. Yes, sir.
Actually, depending on where we go, maybe Green Ball.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Momo, for sure.
Yeah.
Momo might get one at the end of this fucking month, for all we know.
Facts, hold on. Dude, make Momo like Legend Kaido, but just a little worse. Like V1 Kaido, but just a little worse. That's it.
Oh, man.
Can we get another hybrid Kaido?
Please. I haven't had one of those yet.
We probably will. Oh, we'll probably get like oh no, I mean, he already has a legend, but like a new king would be sick. Like actual revealed king.
Yeah.
Imagine like
Giga Chad King.
Imagine like a Suga Fest where it was King and Queen, and then it was Zoro and Sanji. Like two like dual units.
Dude, I do not want any more Zoro and Sanji.
I like, you know what? There's not enough Zoro Sanji legends.
No,
So we should release another Zoro and Sanji. I think it's a good idea. I think Legend. Yeah, I don't know. Legend Shogoro. There you go. Have it here. He deserves one.
There we go.
That's not a bad shout.
He can do some stuff. I think another Legend Yamato. We haven't had any of those. Another Super Sugar Fest exclusive Yamato, actually.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
There's talking.
Knight is still on the Baby 5 train, so, maybe one day.
I said doll, too.
Yes.
What else could be good?
Well, they could do anything now because, they always could, but the fact that, Treasure Map was, Skypiea,
no.
and then the fact that Kizuna's Doflamingo Dressrosa, so it doesn't make any sense. What the fuck are they doing? So they could just really release anything at any time.
They didn't give my boys Gene Bart and Penguin and Sachi a legend.
Yo, actual fact.
They deserve it now. They need it now.
Everyone clowning on the
Get
lore
the
parts.
boys back.
Everyone clowning on the lore parts. They fucking pulled up, bro. They pulled up.
Yes, sir.
And they should They should release a lore legend in the you know what form. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yes, sir. A little gender bend lore. I'm down. Hold on, run it back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
How? How did you forget?
This is the most important panel.
How could I?
That's the most important panel of the year. that one panel right there. All right. Next question from the Gash 9322. They ask, "Do you have any idea when the New Year celebration is going to start?" My brother in Christ.
This guy.
It's already over. It's already done, mate. All right. Next question from
He's
TD.
talking about for 2023, of course.
Sorry. He's talking about the next year's New Year celebration.
See?
Well, that'll probably start about December 28th of 2023. So look forward to that in 12 months. Next question from TD Maker 4429. They ask, "Welcome back, and I hope the time away was enjoyed by all. Guys, my question is simple. This go around, maybe it's been asked before, but do you think a lot of the disappointment felt by some of us ATM with the OPTC play experience in general could be pacified to a degree by simply renewing monthly GARP challenges? There's no motivation for me to play them now, but used to be a great place to keep trying my new units post-event. I feel like it could be a no-brainer. How about one single Rainbow Hime turtle on a flipping daily quest? I could go on, but you get the idea. Raw, thanks, chance." Man really said raw in his response. I'm gonna just put the gauntlet down. Bringing GARP challenges back won't fix Treasure Cruise. It just fucking won't.
Yeah.
It's just gonna add to the content cycle, which the content cycle is the problem. Don't let me get on this fucking rant again. It's, but no, GARP challenges won't fix the content cycle. It just won't. So bringing it back would be cool, especially if they bring them back and there's 50 gems a month on offer. Then hey, I'm always down. But other than that, it's not going to fix anything. It's just going to be more shit to play. That's about it. And raw to you too, I suppose. Next question is from someone that hasn't chosen their YouTube handle, at user-ZT3SR4VHS6K.
This guy needs a new username.
They asked, "Happy New Year's and thanks for all the content. I know it's a bit early, but Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji being the rare recruits at the new year kind of indicates them being the legends for the anniversary in May, ? Timing could be around a certain event, so all three could have unique legends." And then he goes on to list those three kinds of characters, and maybe Law and Kid, and a special legend like Nami, Robin, and Boa. What do you think?
Too early.
I don't agree with the first part, to be honest. As far as the anniversary units, the anime may be getting around there. I don't think it's going to be there by May. I think it's more likely that we'll have the Zoro and Sanji by then, definitely, because they're a lot closer to that.
Yeah.
As far as the big boy, that's probably going to be somewhere in the summer.
Yeah.
The long kid maybe as well because that's also before it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely not the big boy.
I expect the big boy to be kind of similar situation to how they introduced Yamato in Treasure Cruise, where they like hyped it
Oh,
up and then
yep.
like on release of the episode it'll be in Treasure Cruise.
They
That's
do like
my
the whole
expectation.
countdown thing, and then like how they do with
Yeah.
Yamato's release. Yeah, okay, that's actually a good idea. Actually, I like that idea. They could easily do that. I would agree, and that surely that's what like One Piece as a media entity is going to do anyway, right? Like they'll
it's gonna be
hype it
hyped
up, and it's going to be released on every game and every platform and every whatever. Like they'll definitely
You literally
do that.
will not be able to miss it.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, I agree with the lads. I think Zoro and Sanji makes sense for. I would say Zoro and Sanji makes a lot of sense for anniversary, especially in those particular forms, which kind of goes against what you just said in terms of fuck. I don't want any more Zoro and Sanjis, but we probably will get them. But other than that, yeah, I think the big boy will get released, like Flame said, a lot later on down the track. And I think it will be a release in that kind of sense. All right. Next question from Andrea Freshka 1607. They ask, have you tried different devices to play the game? Which one is the best? I find some difficulty when I try to switch manually the target of the attacks. I believe the iPhone is the best device to play Treasure Cruise on.
Yeah, it is.
It's just clear.
Fuck Android.
Hey, hold on, relax. Yeah, it's just better in all facets. And I mean, if you want to talk about server connectivity, just go move to Japan and play it there, because then the server connectivity will be a lot faster. That's about it.
I've actually tried Treasure Cruise like on different like devices, not like providers. I've found personally that the phone is the best. I've tried to play it on the iPad. That was
It's not
horrible,
good.
to be honest. I've never personally
custom
tried to
Treasure Cruise
play it
iPad,
on like an emulator, like on the computer.
And
I would
it's hit and
imagine
miss.
it's a little bit more like difficult than just tapping on the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely say the phone is probably the best place to play it.
Yeah. The iPhone is clear for Treasure Cruise. It's just so much faster. Everything just feels all the button presses, everything just feels so much smoother. So, if you can, but then again, keep in mind, if you're on Android and moving to iOS, you're going to lose all your gems if you do a transfer. So just,
Pull first.
keep that in mind. Yeah, pull first, waste the gems, get some box space, and then send it, Final question, as per normal, it has to be Cody. CS wins. His handle, CS wins 8214. Interesting. There you go, Cody.
Okay.
What does that mean? What does 8214 mean? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
That's his phone code.
That's where that's his postcode. That's where he lives. Someone pull up to him right now.
That's his PIN number.
That's his social security number. Hey fellas, welcome back from the holidays. I hope it was a great time for you all. Thanks as always for the work that you do. It's greatly appreciated. Being that it is the new year, I can't leave you without at least one food related question. Do any of you all feel the need to try it when any type of restaurant / fast food chain comes up with a new product? That's my toxic trait right there. Do you guys, if you have like a chain or whatever it is, pop up with a new food item, do you go out of your way to try it at all?
Yeah.
Really? Is that something that you just consistently do, or is that just like a if you're in the area kind of type beat?
Yeah, it's like more if I'm in the area, if I go and I see some shit, I'm just like, oh, that's new. I'll try it.
For me, it's like depending on what it is, really.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
If it's something that I actually would like, if it sounds appetizing enough, I'm like, yeah, I'll give that a shot. But like, if it's just new for the sake of being new, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with what I know.
Always safe.
For me, when I go to a fast food place, it's always the same shit. I ain't trying to ruin my experience. I want whatever I'm getting.
I know what I'm eating.
Restaurants, I only do that if I'm like a regular there. Like I'll probably get like maybe one new thing, but I'll get like other things that I'm used to around it.
Right.
Yeah. I feel that. Unfortunately, don't really have any other questions for you, but I do have a bit of a Cody in Canada update. All right, is this the new thing for this year? Bit of a Cody in Canada update. We found out that we're expecting a baby boy in June. I know, Papi.
Ooh.
I was hoping for my birth month of May as well. Yeah, imagine if his kid was born in May, it would be vicariously like the reincarnation of me. Life's been good. Holidays were excellent. I apologize for the delay in sending over the dessert tier list. It's ready to go. I just have a minor eye issue that's making it difficult to review it. No stress on that. Unfortunately, I need to keep this a little short, but as always, much love from the Great White North fellas. Always wishing you all the best, Cody, in Canada. Thank you, Cody. All the best with the baby boy in June. You should name him Pierre. Name him after me, because why not, right? Imagine that'd be psychotic.
Name, Pa.
Name him Papi, you know.
Starbucks people with the names, man.
Oh, bro, yeah, Kerry. I got Kerry once. That was fun. Just mad. That's it. Thank you, Cody, for the final question there. Gentlemen, the first episode of the year is completed. Episode 83, done and dusted. We will be having episode 100 in 2023. So,
that's crazy.
If you guys have any ideas on what we should do for episode 100, leave them down below.
Yes.
Looking forward to episode 100. On that note, though, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support us financially, you can hit the join button as well. You can go into the description and find our Linktree link. That is linktr.ee/GoodGreatPerfect. You can find us on a bunch of social media platforms, that being Twitter @GGP Podcast. You can also find us on anchor.fm/GoodGreatPerfect, which distributes all of our audio versions of the podcast, the main ones being on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. Also, if you are listening to the audio-only version, make sure you go review us. You can review the podcast on all those audio platforms. So if you are enjoying the podcast, please, by all means, review, leave some feedback as well. That's about it, gentlemen. You can go down there as well and find all of our social media links, all of our Twitters, YouTubes, this and that are all down below. So make sure you go do all that kind of enjoyable stuff and, support us on all those different platforms there. With that being said, though, gentlemen, I have been Captain Papi, Flame, Knight, and Todd. Thank you for listening to the episode. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye.